you.
There you are. Are you recording on the Tascam?
I'm recording on Tascam.
Are you recording on the Kaczkowski?
I'm recording my cat scan.
Are you recording your cat scan?
I'm recording the cat scan. It's okay to be playing hardcore pornography at full volume through mid-conversation, right?
Uh-huh.
I like what you've done to the place behind you.
The song goes, Bebo, 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 Bebo,
Bebo, Bebo, Bebo,
Bebo, Bebo, Bebo. So if you're playing Sims on an iPad, the song goes, Bebo, 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 Bebo.
I've never played Sims.
Bebo, Bebo. I've never played it either, but Allie's playing it right now, and Allie made a character that's me, and a character that's her, and then my character looks kind of like a, lesbian-ish, like textbook butch lesbian-ish.
Did you make it?
No, because I'm not playing Sims. She is, so she made me, and she gave me that appearance, and then we had a child together, and then we had two children, and then the children grew up, and now our original characters are not playable. She decided to move on.
Bro, so much has happened since I last talked to you. You had a child and became a lesbian?
I became a lesbian, had two children.
Whoa, what's happening behind you?
It's, check it out.
I can't. I got your lesbian butt in the way. Where's your kid? You want to get your kid in the way?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a video feed. Check it out.
Is that,
Story of Ricky. It's Beyond the Law. It's Pod People. It's Mystery Science Theater. It's Story of Ricky. More Story of Ricky. Yeah.
Winston. I don't know. Is it one movie or is it a bunch of them?
It's just a bunch of clips that Casey put together back in the day, VHS clips.
I like it.
I like it too.
Winston.
Hey, buddy. We got
Can
Winston
you see
here.
him?
Yeah.
Can you see Winston? Winston. You're on the Hearn with Durbin.
You're on the Nurbin with Durbin.
On the Hearn with Durbin. You know that saying, right?
Dude, I was on the Hearn with Dern. Remember, he kept interrupting me because I was on the Hearn.
I'm
Next
surprised
caller.
he hasn't started a podcast.
Next caller.
You're on the Hearn with Dern.
Next caller.
I might just disappear every once in a while because I got a big garbage bag full of candy here, and I just like to take a mouthful and just get off camera and eat my garbage.
Eat your garbage, baby. Where's the Tascam?
Right here.
Okay,
you
cool.
See it? Do you want to see it?
I just want to make sure you're getting some decent audio.
I mean, it's better than my Cubase. It's clipping so much.
So this right here, this is your cam girl corner, I see.
That's where I flick my bean, make my big box.
You make your B-box?
My B-box in my bean corner.
This is where I make my B-box, is where I click my bean box.
I would have done it in the bathroom where I make a real big box. But there's too much reverb.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
You need audio, right? It is a podcast after all.
This is a podcast, but it's mostly a video thing.
It is?
Yeah, I mean, because it's mostly I'm trying to do the YouTube thing,
To make the big YouTube bucks so you can buy four-wheelers and hang out on your lake in California in the hills.
The only way to make big bucks on YouTube is to get like millions of views. So I'm definitely like I'm not even monetized. The YouTube channel isn't even monetized because I don't have enough people watching it yet.
Well, guess what, bro? After you air this, I'm going to have all my fan watch this one, and you'll have an extra one view.
Hey, I just want to let you know that if this doesn't air, I'm going to have to let all my fans know that it's not airing.
That's what I said. I got to let my fan know.
Yeah, if you... can you please inform your fans?
No, my fan.
You
know who my fan is?
Your number one fan?
You know who it is?
Who?
He's already here. His name's Winston.
Oh, I see him.
Is he still in view?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Winston! He knows he's on.
How old is Winston now?
19, man.
No way.
Yep.
19 human years.
Yep. The veterinarians call him an anomaly because he gets his blood work done and like, yeah, his kidney levels are a little bit up, but that's just like old age, and compared to how old he is, that's just fucking amazing, pretty much.
Can he still hop up on stuff?
Hell yeah, he jumps up, he jumps down, he runs around downstairs, plays catch. He's got his toy right now. He was just bugging me to play with this toy. He runs up and down the stairs. He hasn't slowed down a single bit, man.
That's amazing.
He's the best.
I think Wicket, my mom's old dog, he was a Shih Tzu. I think he only made it to 15 or so, though.
Yeah, some dogs do, some dogs don't. My last dog before this was a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mutt mix, and he was 16 and a half, Dave the dog, and he lived with like a tumor in his stomach for like 6 years, and the vet just said, yeah, he's okay, he's eating and everything, it's just gonna be there. But he was a tough old boy. He scared the big dogs. Dave the dog.
R.I.P. Dave the dog.
R.I.P. Dave the dog.
And R.I.P. Barf as well. My mother's other dog, Barf.
He was a beautiful boy. R.I.P. Barf.
I love Barf. I sometimes have to explain why he was named Barf. Some people haven't seen the movie Spaceballs.
I'll tell you, a lot of people haven't seen a lot of movies that we've just like quoted our entire lives, and they're like, yeah.
You want to know why?
Huh?
It's called a generation gap.
Ah!
I'm serious. Allie, just because I'm about, let's see, how old? She's 31 and I'm 39. So like even just like a 9 or 8 or 9 year difference means when she was growing up, she watched totally different shit. She was into like Invader Zim and Recess and all that Nickelodeon stuff that we were a little too old for.
I was an Invader Zim. I still am. That's a good shit. That's good shit. That stuff. It stands the test of time, man. It's still just as good as when it came out.
Well, let me think of another example. I think like Pokemon is a good example. Like you and I were too old for Pokemon.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never saw it. Never understood it.
So that's a good example. That's a good example because she was like really into Pokemon, but that's just because she's a little younger than us.
You got to catch the flavor.
You got to catch them all.
Yeah, man. That's okay.
It is okay. It just is a thing. That's why like sometimes you'll be quoting Wayne's World and someone 10 years younger than you will be like, huh? What's that? From some movie or something? It's like, Wayne's World, well, you haven't seen it. But it came out in 93. And if you do the math, that was a long time ago.
That just happened to me. My girlfriend, she said, you're killing me, Smalls. I said, you seen that movie? How did you like it, right? And she said, what movie? I said, Sandlot. She's like, no, I never seen it. And we watched it, and she said that movie was fucking incredible.
She's quoting a movie she never ever saw.
She ain't never even saw it.
She ain't even never saw it.
She did saw it, though. Then she saw it, and she said she liked it. And now
she's like, seen it. You mean she's seen it?
She's seen it, saw it, said she liked it, and she was all about it. But, that's a 4-year age gap. I'm 49. Ron. I'm 49 now. Huh?
Ron, who is this woman?
It's Amanda.
Tell me.
We've been seeing each other.
Yeah.
Well, not really since all of this. We haven't seen each other in a few weeks.
But what's she all about, man? Tell me. I want the scoop, bruh.
She's into graphic design. She's really into makeup, doing makeup tutorials and stuff. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Her cat Natalie. Hi, Amanda. And smoking joints, bro.
How'd you guys meet?
This fucking dating app called Bumble. I've been off dating apps here for the past year. They don't work for me. I'm too weird of a guy for these people. I don't know how to be normal and do these, cool buff pictures, Chad-like.
You need to be more Chadley.
Yeah, I can't do Chadley. And they see right through my shit. He said, this ain't no Chad, bro. This is some type of Ron, bro. I don't know about that.
This ain't no Chad, bro. It's just a dad, bro.
I made a song earlier. It's about chimichanga. I'm a chimichanga guy, yeah. I'm a chimichanga guy, yeah. I'm a chimichanga guy. I'm a chimichanga guy. I'm a chimichanga guy, yeah. Chimichanga guy, yeah. Chimichanga guy, yeah. I'm a chimichanga guy, yeah.
This guy's a chimichanga guy right here. Like, check him out.
I mean, he kind of. What is he eating there? Oh, that's raw fish.
Steak.
Oh, steak? Raw steak?
Yeah, it's rare, though.
That was totally just tuna.
We have to ask the people who made the film in 90, I think it was 92. But so, yeah.
What are you going to ask? Oh, yeah. So I was off dating apps, wasn't even really looking, wasn't really interested in dating. And I made some stupid post about it, just a joke. And my one friend, Caitlin, she said, try Bumble. And I was like, what the fuck's Bumble? And she's like, it's where girls hit you up first. I said, okay. And I looked it up because I wasn't about to pay whatever they fucking asked, like $30 a month. And it was only like $7. So I said, fuck it, I'll try it. I was on there a day. She hit me up. We started talking. She was like the one person that hit me up on there, and I got off the next day. I was like, fuck. It's just the exact same person over and over. I'm looking for a guy that can make me laugh, who knows how to have fun, who can take me on vacations, who has a nice job, who's smart, has a beautiful smile, 6-pack abs, a dick that hits his ankles. It's like, come on. And they're all wearing Michigan State shirts. And I have bleached white smiles. And I got a big old fucking shitty smile. So it's like, kiss my grits, It's very disheartening to somebody who's not the same, like, listens to all the same shit that they listen to on the radio. Nothing against the radio or nothing. It's just, I never got into that lifestyle of going to the bar, going to baseball games, going dancing and shit. I like smoking weed, watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, hanging out, going to shows every once in a while. I don't want to make going out my entire life, which the people seem like that's like the end all be all. You got to go to the bar to have fun.
You know what's wild is this, what's happening right now. And like, I know it sucks that we can't leave, but it's not much different than my actual life.
Absolutely not. I was telling that today. I don't do nothing, man. It's prepared me, I used to, like, on the weekends, if I didn't have anything going on with Ron or anything, I would, go get something to eat or something, and maybe go walk around the mall or something on a rare occasion, but nothing. I didn't really go to shows, and I stopped playing shows.
What is Earl's album called? I don't do shit. I don't go outside.
I don't like shit. I don't go outside.
I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Yeah, he called it. He called it like a year ago.
Oh, that was years ago, Rock.
Well, it was.
I got that album right there.
It wasn't longer than a couple years. It's somewhat recent. It wasn't at the last. No, because then he put out some rap songs.
He's put out. Hold on, I'll find it. Hold on, people.
Hold on, girl. God, that soup was so good. Oh, you get it on vinyl. You one of those vinyl guys?
Bobbin's got it for me as a gift.
Oh, that's nice.
This came out.
Bilbo Bibbins.
Bill, I talked to him today. This came out 5 years ago.
Wow, what have I been doing with my life?
I don't know, man. It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's been 4 years since Bibbins and I started our journey out to California. It's been 4 years, man. I know I've been back a whole bunch because of all the bullshit, but just the picture. There's a picture of Bibbins and his box truck and me, and we took the photo outside of your old place in Taylor, and that popped up on the Facebook, and it said 4 years ago. Can you believe that shit?
That's crazy as shit, man. He hasn't even been back to Michigan in over a year, he was saying today.
He went back. He came back at some point, didn't he, to visit his mom?
Yeah, not in the past year though.
Oh, yeah. He's too busy now.
He's busy, Bilbo Bibbins, Triple B, baby.
BBB. He's the Better Business Bureau. He's the busy Bilbo Bibbins. What is that? What do you got there?
It's tobacco, Joe.
What sort of tobacco, Mom?
Dirt. It's dirt tobacco. Oh, hold up.
What you open in there? Ooh, MD.
You see this shark?
Yeah.
He's coming out of Arctic tundra.
Yeah,
instead of the ocean, which the shark normally does.
It's a frostbite.
I got it at Walmart yesterday when I walked in there. You know, now they got you walking in the grocery store scared out of your fucking mind. And so I had the mask on, and I always have sunglasses and a hoodie on just because I don't like to talk to people. But now they got you running through and skipping. You'll see people 15 feet in front of you, and you switch aisles real quick. Big, don't fucking get near me. Don't cough near me. And then people just walk around like, licking bottles of soap. And it's just they make you feel it.
Well,
why does your hand keep disappearing?
Oh, here we go. Check it out. Phil Warren got me these.
What is it?
They're indica edibles.
What's the milligram on there, though, Honcho?
Let's go there.
What's the milligram?
Fucking 10 milligrams. It's kind of what you got there?
190 milligram bar.
Are they 12 of those?
I ate 6 of them. No, I got home from work and I ate a bit, and then I passed out. And then you sent me a text that said Bebo, and I said, "Shit, I forgot to feed Winston too."
Bebo.
Sorry, Winston.
I can't believe
you see him?
Yeah, he's so cute. I can't believe he's 19. Hey, buddy. Hey, Winston. Hi. He can't. The problem is he can't hear me because you got the headphones on. You got your headphones on, yeah. Put the headphones on, Winston, so I could talk to him. Oh, you don't have to. Here, now put the camera up to him so we can. Hey, Winston. Hi. Hey, buddy. Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
He's like,
what's he saying to you? Sweet nothings?
Winston, let me whisper to you. Let me whisper to you. Let me whisper.
Are you whispering sweet nothings?
Yeah, I'm whispering something. You watching American Dad?
Because of you, baby.
It's, I never really watched a lot of American Dad, but Allie loves it. And, I thought it was like just another Family Guy, but it's actually, I think the humor is more subtle. It's it's better. I don't know, just better. It's not like, it doesn't go on all these dumb tangents. It's just these little subtle jokes. But
yeah, man, it's like Family Guy is just completely random. Hey, where you going? Where do you think you're going? Sorry. Winston's trying to escape.
It's okay.
Is it? Because if he escapes, there's a dog he's got in captivity downstairs that he goes and whips.
So Allie, we have all these neighborhood cats because Long Beach. Yeah, did you see that?
Guys. Did
you see a male butt up there? Yeah.
Whoa! Good job, Casey, for the male butt.
Yeah, thank you. There's all these neighborhood cats, a lot of stray cats, and Allie started feeding one of them, and now she puts out a little dish of food, and there's literally like 4 or 5 cats all eating out of the same dish, and then when you like poke your head out, they like look right at you, and they're just like, and then they go back to eating. They know.
Do you eat food with the cats?
No, I'm trying to stay away from them because they could potentially be carrying the COVID thing, you know? So I don't touch them. I don't pet them.
They don't come in your house, right?
The one was coming in the house here and there, and I told Allie, I'm like, listen, like I know you're bored. I know you think this cat is cute, but I don't know where this cat is sleeping at night. I don't know who is petting this cat, and let's just not have the cat in the house. Like, if you're gonna pet the cat, wash your fucking hands when you're done. We got to be really careful. But that's the thing is when you're as bored as we are, sometimes you're just like, oh, but I just want to pet this cat, and you don't think about things like sometimes you let your guard down a little bit, and we can't be letting our guard down, bro. We gotta stay on top of it so we don't get it. We don't get it.
That's what Bobbins. He kind of laughed when I said I was staying away from Amanda for the time being, but that's the CDC. That's the only news source I actually follow. I stopped following the news, but the CDC is something you should probably listen to. They're saying these things for a reason. They say don't keep the contact only to people you live with.
Yeah,
you don't know. Nobody knows what the fuck this thing is, so it's just better be safe than sorry. And if I get it, I get it.
I did a podcast with this dude I know from New York State, and his girlfriend lives in Toronto, and he straight up doesn't know when he's going to see her next because not only is he quarantining himself, but they closed international borders, so it's like he's got a long distance relationship with this girl, and straight up he's just like, I'll see you. I don't know when I'll see you. Like that's hard.
Thank God for the internet, man.
Yeah. Well,
imagine if this was the 80s and people were just like tying up the phone lines and shit and not being able to even talk to people because there wasn't call waiting.
We'd all be playing Monopoly with ourselves and wearing
Monopoly.
Wearing tube socks.
I wear tube socks, bro.
Yeah, but like wearing nothing but tube socks and
shorts.
Shorts.
What the fuck is a tube sock? Is this a regular sock?
I think all a tube sock is just like what I'm wearing right now. I think that's a tube sock. I think it's just a tube you put your foot in. Yeah, I think we're just wearing tube socks, man.
I got one there.
Yeah.
And pizza on the other.
Oh, man. You're doing the Phil Warren. Phil Warren is like, I ain't going to match.
No, guess what Phil Warren's doing? Myself is a Punky Brewster.
It's a punky. He's pulling a punky.
Chico DeBarge, baby. I'm a big boy now. I'm a big boy. You remember Chico?
I only remember Chico from that one episode of Punky that you used to show us when we'd come over.
Chico DeBarge, I'm a big boy now.
Because who was the dad's name? Henry Chico DeBarge or something. I don't know how he had.
Punky.
Punky. That's the other thing. You could talk about Punky Brewster all day. Talk about Punky Brewster and motherfuckers that are like 30 years old have no idea who the Brewster Punky is.
It kind of sucks. Her show sucks, actually. You try to watch it now, it sucks. The only episode that's good is the DeBarge episode.
Like a lot of stuff.
It's boring.
It's like when you're a little kid, you think a lot of shit is really dope, but then you watch it when you're a little bit older, and some of it doesn't hold up. But you know what does hold up? Monster Squad holds up.
Oh God, Wolfman's got nards, bro. This is really? Does he?
I want to tell you a story, Ron.
Okay.
I was so I have a VHS copy of Monster Squad, and after my dad died, I started dating this girl, right? Mm-hmm. And we started making love, making whoopee, and
whoa,
yeah, and so on my big screen TV in my mom's basement, the movie Monster Squad was playing, and like mid sexual encounter, I stopped and I pointed at the TV and I'm like, "Hold on, this is important." And and we literally stopped having sex so I could make her watch the Wolfman's Got Nards part, and then we started having sex again after it. So yeah.
How'd she feel about it?
She said that she'll never forget the first time we had sex. Because
that was the first time you had sex and you stopped because
I stopped and I said, hold on, watch this. It's important. And we watched Wolfman's Got Nards. And
dude.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, was that the beginning of the end? Like, was that a bad sign? Was that a red flag? Or was I just
good?
Or was I just
do that?
Or was I just being myself? I think what it was is I was just pretty much saying, okay, this is what you're about to sign up for.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Wolfman's Got Nards.
I was gonna say it's good to get that really weird shit out of the way because it's like I gotta be myself in front of you. I'm gonna be doing weird shit like stopping from Thrust just to talk about Wolfman and some kid wearing a Stephen King Rules t-shirt.
You know, so yeah,
weed them out, baby.
It's like, hey, if you're gonna love me, you gotta love all of me, which means you have to. I mean, you don't gotta love me, but if you choose to love me,
you gotta love that b-ball.
Yeah, but you know,
that's what I said that stuff on stage when I played that show with you in December. I said, always look them in the eye when you're making love or kissing. Never close your eyes. Weed them out. Yeah. I'm flicking my bead. You
want to kiss?
Girl. My cam girl corner.
I think Allie keeps her eyes open a lot of the times when we're kissing. And sometimes I'll close my eyes and then I'll open it up and she'll be like, you know,
giving you the look.
Yeah, and then she's just breathing all heavy, and she's all like, I'm just like, and then yeah, Wolfman's Got Nards.
Free ASMR right over here. I get to hear your sexual
that's
experience.
the cool part about this microphone is it picks up like literally everything. So I was talking to Peter Keys, the Leonard Skinner dude, and I was what was I eating? I was eating oatmeal, but you definitely. You definitely.
Why don't you wait until after? Or is that part of your thing? Are you mixing
I was starving,
ASMR into
man.
it?
Well, it's not. I'm not trying to do ASMR, but this is the thing, is I've known that dude for so long, and I've known you for so long. Like this is just like chatting it up with the homies, you know. If I was, let's say I was interviewing like fucking Joe Rogan or someone like, let's say I had this like big interview that I wanted to take seriously, I wouldn't be eating fucking oatmeal. But
you'd be eating saltine crackers.
Yeah, I'd just be like
Frank Reynolds.
Yeah. So the gang gets quarantined. Have you seen that episode?
That's my favorite. Before this even happened.
Yeah, and we watched it last night. We watched it last night, and I don't know how many years ago it was made, but it literally described to a T everything that's happening right now.
So are we all just going through alcohol withdrawals?
Yeah, they all think they're dying, but they just I'm starting to feel kind of better. Yeah, they all just start drinking Charlie's like cleaning jug stash of booze.
I knew you drank fucking cleaning supplies, Charlie.
It was really good. But Frank, when he's all covered in the Purell, he's like, I want to be pure.
I was thinking of that when I was thinking of shaving my head just because I hate my long hair now. And
how long is your hair? How long is long?
What if I take my head off and it just falls out and it goes right past my boobage?
It might do that.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know. You take your hood off and then it's just like it's luscious blonde Fabio locks.
You might be right. Hold on.
Okay, I'm readying my dick.
Don't look at me. I'm a freak.
In
my hair is too long.
In 2013, remember when my hair got really long? I used to put it in a ponytail, like 2013, around the time Masters came out. Do you remember that?
It was a top ponytail, right?
Is what?
Like a top ponytail?
No, well, I used to do that, but then it got real long, and I could put it in a ponytail in the back. Like I had hair down to here. Do you remember that 2013?
Kinda.
Come on, man, you were there, dude.
Yeah, I was there, but was I really there?
That's a good question. But either way, I went to this bar, right? And I had my hair pulled back in the ponytail, and this chick that I've never met before. So, and I was at the bar. We were going to see Gypsy Dog, which is this jam band that used to jam with Benny, like Friends of Benny, pretty much. And so we go to this bar in Livonia. I'm sitting down, and this chick sits down, and she takes one look at me, and she goes, "What's up, receding hairline?" Like that's how she refers to me. And
that's pretty cool.
And then, like, in the same night, this other girl goes, "Yeah, I knew it was you when you pulled up. I saw that forehead from a million miles away." And I was like, ugh.
Who are these people?
Two different chicks. And then there was a third chick that used to see Downtown Brown back in the day. And she's like, "Wow, Neil, like, I never knew you had such a big forehead." So in one night, literally 3 different women, unprovoked, who didn't know each other, they all commented on how giant my forehead was. And let me tell you, ever since then, I've been super self-conscious about my
what are the chances of that, though?
Well, this is the thing. Is like normally I'd have like bangs or so, but like but when it comes down to it, yeah, I do have a receding hairline.
Three random women just you've never met before, or
same night, same bar, and no, 2 of them I knew from before. One of them I never knew before. So the first one I'd never met before. She sat down at the table. She looked at me and she said, "What's up, receding hairline?" And then the second one was like, Neil, I knew it was you when you pulled up because I could see that forehead from a million miles away. And then
they must have had talked about.
That's just how.
Did you hurt her? Did you hurt one of them in the past? Like break up with them or something?
Oh no, never dated. No, Swisher dated one of them.
Maybe that's why she's like, let's get to this moment.
She's like, let's get Neil because I hate
Go for the forehead.
So flash forward to 2017 and. The second woman that commented on my forehead came to the Andrew WK show when we opened up for Andrew WK at St. Andrews, and she made it a point to be like, "Yeah, Neil, you look just like you did when you were 20, except the receding hairline." And
mean are these people? They just have to like say shit. Be like, what? What if you just walked up to him, and said, just pointed out one of their imperfections or.
Well, this is what I wanted to say to her, but I'm a nice guy, and I don't like. I've been a chubby guy my whole life, so I don't like pointing out if someone has gained weight, or I don't think it's a valid diss saying someone is chubby or whatever.
It's cheap.
It's lazy, like if I really wanted to get her, I'd be like, well, you dated fucking Swisher and this guy Freybutt, so there's not much that you could fucking say.
His name's Furry Butt?
Freybutt.
Frayed Butt?
Freybutt.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, it's his last name, Anthony Freybutt. It's not a nickname.
Oh man, that sounds like a nickname.
Yeah, it's not a nickname. But either way, this chick, like, first, yeah, she, like, but this is the thing. Like, I could have just been like, yeah, well, you look a lot fatter than the last time I saw you. And I could have been like, yeah, well, you dated fucking 2 wife beaters.
Wife beaters? What?
Yeah, I mean, these are dudes that are, like, on multiple occasions have done abusive stuff to women. And she dated both of them.
And
but
she's
anyway,
coming at you for a forehead.
And she's coming at me for my forehead. It's like people in glass houses shouldn't tell some balding guy how big his forehead is,
That just blows my mind that people actually have to go out of their way just to talk shit.
This is the way I look at it, man. Once it starts going on the top, then I'm just gonna become Patrick Stewart. It's like whatever. Like if I got a big forehead, whatever, man.
Pick it, baby. That's when you can say you'll be pure. That way you have to shave your mustache off and keep it pure too, so you can rub the hand sanitizer all over your face and your head.
Yeah, just shave off every inch of body hair. But
everything.
I look at dudes. I look at like Michael Keaton is pretty much bald. His hairline goes all the way back to but he still keeps a little bit of hair. But you know what? He's a handsome man. Bruce Willis, another dude. Hairline, fucking, he pretty much shaves his head. Jason Statham.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's what happens. I'm sure I'm losing fucking hair. It's gonna happen if, I just shave it off, baby. That's what I want to do anyway. I'm probably just gonna shave it off. I hate dealing with hair.
Shake it off like Taylor Swift.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Oh, shake it off.
But this is the thing right now, it's
your hair looks really clean.
It's pretty long, it's pretty luscious, yeah, but I got a huge forehead and it's getting thinner, and it's receding. But you know what?
Your hair looks really clean.
It's because Allie deep conditioned it and she put dye in it because it was our little quarantine project.
What do you mean?
She took care of my hair because we're bored and we're doing stuff with our hair. Like the treatments or something. Yeah, like dyeing. We deep conditioning. Stuff.
Would you dye it more? Or you bleached it? What are you doing?
She dyed my hair. She deep conditioned my hair. She dyed her hair pink. It's blonde and pink now.
Nice.
We're just having girl time all the time. It's just
get the nails done, son.
Yeah, we eat ice cream. We talk about boys. That's what
gossip.
We do. It's what we do. We're gossip girls.
Gossip girls. Oh.
So it's cool.
This isn't going to be trademark infringement, me singing all these songs like shake it up. You gotta shake it up.
Well, what's going to happen is YouTube is going to notice that you're singing it, and then they're going to be like, what the thing is even if one of these videos gets flagged for using some copyrighted shit, all that it doesn't erase the video. All it means is that if the video makes any money, which none of these videos do anyway, because not a lot of people are listening, it just means that someone else is gonna get that money. Because so if you started being like, everybody's doing a brand new dance now, come on baby, do the locomotion, yeah. Copyright claim.
You know what that is?
That's something bop.
Yeah, that's bop, and then it also what is it? That.
Well, it's a lot of songs.
I was like, what, dude? Is this a conspiracy theory, dude?
I'm pretty sure that song is like at least one other song, man.
Bob.
What should we watch tonight? Well, Allie and I, okay, so this is the thing. I've been going too hard with the podcast. I've been spending too much time on the computer, editing video, too much time on the computer, doing the podcast, too much time on the computer, learning how to stream and set up OBS. So when Allie and I, now after we eat, we spend time together and we watch television. So what should we watch?
What are you in the mood for?
Well, it's like she wants to watch a movie and then we go on Netflix.
Netflix is a bad place to go.
A lot of it seems crappy, man.
Most of it's just Netflix bullshit now.
Yeah, it's like Netflix presents, and we watched this. So we watched this documentary yesterday, and it was like based on a true story. Is these teenage girls got sexually assaulted at a party, and it's a documentary, so it actually happened. And pretty much it was really weird because they interviewed the people that the shit happened to, and literally in every different interview segment, the person's look changed drastically. Like they had different color hair, and so it was confusing. They interviewed the same people like in a bunch of different segments, but they looked totally different every single time they interviewed them. It's like they shot it over 3 years and like spliced it up. So you couldn't even, like Allie and I were like, is that the same person? Is that the same? It just made no sense. It was like really poorly done. And
what was it called?
It was the name of the two girls that got assaulted. It was called like Daisy and Nadia or some shit.
That was Netflix.
Yeah, and it's a Netflix produced thing, but it's like whoever made this documentary, they had like zero attention to storytelling or detail. They're just like, all right, we'll just like plop everything together and you'll have to like figure out the story yourself because none of these people look the same in any interview, and you have to like it was like mental gymnastics trying to even figure out who was fucking who, and there's only 4 people in the movie. It's like
these documentaries now,
thumbs down.
They turn it. Big Head just asked if you would disrupt anything if you fucked with the modem. I don't think so because I got LTE.
Yeah, are you streaming with the internet on your phone?
I mean, I'm on.
Are you on your 5G or 4G or are you on the internet?
I'm on my 4G.
Okay, then
I think
if you're not on Wi-Fi, then he should be able to mess with the modem and we'll be fine.
I think I am on Wi-Fi.
Oh, well then you're gonna be fucked. Did you watch The Tiger King?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay,
No.
well, I think The Tiger King was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, everybody said it. Everybody's been telling me about the Tiger King.
It's
I've watched 2 episodes.
It's kind of, it's kind of like one of those things where you're watching Dr. Phil or you're watching Jerry Springer and you're just like, wow, I can't believe these people are real. Like that sort of reaction you get when you're watching some really intense human beings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think it's just a really outlandish story, and that's what's pretty riveting about the whole thing is that you just can't believe it's real the whole time you're watching it. You just can't believe they're real people because it's so outlandish. Where'd you go, dude?
Can you see me now?
I can see you, baby.
Because I had to switch off the Wi-Fi. Sorry, that's going to disrupt your shit, huh?
No, everything's fine.
Your video?
No, everything's fine.
I should have told Big Head. I just got this iPhone 11 and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Everything's fine, Ronzo. If that's your real name. Just as long as the Tascam is recording, and even if it's not, we can just pull the audio from this. I mean, it's just a little bit more work, but it's not the end of the world, bro.
Oh no, I got it. I just texted Biggie saying, you know what? You're good to go. Good to go.
GTG. Okay, so you haven't seen Tiger King. Is there anything else that you'd recommend? Is there anything good on Netflix, man?
There's a show not a lot of people have heard about called The Office. That's always good for a
So
no, none of Netflix. Like I was gonna say, like these documentaries, they're taking advantage because you could turn this one story into maybe like an hour and a half, 2-hour documentary. But HBO just did it with McMillions, the plot of the McDonald Monopoly heist, where a guy was just picking people that he knew to win the $1 million. And they turned this story that could have just been a 2-hour documentary into like a 7-hour documentary that they split into 7 fucking weeks. It's like, just tell me what the fuck happened, man. I want to know. I don't care. I'm not watching this as a show. I'm interested. And then you just end up looking at it on Google and be like, oh, okay. He was milled the things.
Yeah, there was a documentary about a child. Well, Allie and I have been watching a lot of true crime lately, and there's a documentary about this child that was abused to the point where he was killed by his parents, by his birth mother, and then the mother's boyfriend, and it took so long to get through, and every single second of it, like, it got progressively worse. So like I was just like watching this thing and crying, but I just kept going, and I kept going for like hours. I just kept subjecting myself to this thing because I wanted to know what happened. But the way they edited it was like such a slow burn. It was so detailed, and it took so long. So I'm literally like making myself super fucking depressed for like 7 hours in a row just so I could find out what the fuck happened to these people. And they ended up both getting life terms. You know, they both are in prison for life for killing a little kid. But it took 8 hours to get there, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's just too much. Man.
I was just like, I gotta watch the next one.
That's why I like World War II documentaries so much. They tell you what happened. And those are the craziest things because that shit fucking happened, man. Like,
hard to believe.
People went through that. Yeah, and like you look at things happening now, it's like, yeah, people, not in our lifetime, but people have gone through this. It's just amazing what almost gets forgotten with so many things happening with social media and just easy access to different stories. But fucking all these world wars happen, man, and it's just like watching what like the British soldiers in the trenches and shit. Oh my god, you want to see a really, really good World War One movie? It's 1917. It's like one of those, it just came out, and it's like a one shot take type of movie.
Yeah.
And it follows two British soldiers in the trenches, and it is just fucking unbelievable. Another one Peter Jackson did, he remade World War One footage, and he made it to where it looks like it's like a real movie. And
okay.
You see it's made from gritty, like fucking black and white footage, but it looks like a real movie, like a video.
What's it called?
Fuck.
I'll look it up. It's just Peter Jackson who did Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Peter Jackson.
It's like 2.5 hours long, you know, but they're telling the stories.
World War One, right? And then the other one's 1917.
1917, that just came out.
Well, I'm interested in that kind of stuff. Well, you know, my grandpa was in World War II. He was a sergeant. He was
Wednesday.
Go on.
Wednesday.
He wants to see Unky Biggie.
Unky
Biggie.
Unky.
But yeah, your unky was in the World War. Like I think most of our uncles or grandpas.
This is my grandpa, yeah. World War II.
Yeah, you're not your uncle.
He was a sergeant in the army, and he was stationed in France. And, well, did I ever tell you the craziest part about all that shit is when he died, he willed my brother and I all that crazy Nazi shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, did I ever show you any of that?
Yeah, Bobbins bought some. Yeah, I was there when you got it all. And you're about to sell it.
Yeah, I got rid of that shit. It was pretty much like one of those old school trunks with like the latches on it, and I just open it up, and like one of the first things you see, the fucking big old Nazi flag, dude. It's crazy.
A lot of, people want to collect that stuff. Not even just white supremacists. I'm sure white supremacists love collecting it, but
honestly, I think a lot of like white supremacists are too fucking poor to afford how much that shit costs now. Like an actual Nazi flag from Nazi Germany. Like, first of all, you can't sell that in Germany, and you can't sell it on eBay. But I took that shit to a gun show in Ohio, and I've never seen more fucking old white dudes crowd around anything in my life as quickly as it was like someone opened fucking the Ark of the Covenant, except instead of it melting all of them, it just made them all like salivate, and they all surrounded themselves around this fucking thing. And then the old guy, we took it to get appraised, and the old guy's like, gentlemen, stand back. And he and all these old guys, they start grabbing at my grandpa's fucking.
That's fucking terrible.
They're grabbing at the shit. Like they started just grabbing at it. Like not that like they were gonna steal it. They just wanted to look at it and like put it and smell it. And like it was fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, that's a part of history that it seems like didn't happen, but it happens. And it's like people want to have a piece like that's why museums are so interesting, is because these are pieces of that part of life that happened. It's a piece that's left. It's just a remnant of that memory.
Yeah.
And you can actually see it. And it's like that shit fucking happens.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, and especially the Holocaust stuff and fucking the Nazi regime, man. Yeah, that stuff goes quick because that's just so bizarre that it happened, and they destroyed a lot of that shit.
And I think it's a good point that you bring up about people forget about that shit because like I haven't, everyone's freaking out about COVID, but I haven't heard many people mention, well, we got through World War II, we'll get through this, because World War II is so long ago that people don't really remember that shit. Yep. Or we got through Vietnam, we'll get through this. I know it's like comparing apples to oranges, but like it's you just saying that makes me think like, I don't know, we'll probably get through this.
Well, absolutely we will. Science is going to prevail like it did back in the Dark Ages or whatever with pandemic, with the plague. You know, we got through that shit.
How was the plague stopped? Do you know? I could look it up. But
yeah, I don't know, honestly. I mean,
did they just get rid of the rats? Is that because that's what was spreading it, wasn't it?
It might have just been getting rid of the rats. Yeah, I never looked into the plague too much. I mean, I'm sure everybody's researching it now.
Let me look that shit up. Plague.
Yeah, you got your telephone, bro.
How the plague was cured? Let's check this. Okay, cures for the Black Death. In the 1347 through 1350 outbreak, doctors were completely unable to prevent or cure the plague. Some of the cures they tried included rubbing onions, herbs, or they chopped up a snake, if available, on the boils, or they cut up a pigeon and rubbed it all over the infected body.
Yeah, we're in a better state of science now. I think we got a better chance of overcoming.
Well, I don't know, man. I think the next person with COVID, we should fucking cut up a pigeon and rub that shit on them and see if that shit works.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what if it's something so bizarre that nobody would ever think that cures it? It's like, you know.
Well, it's like in Ernest Scared Stupid when they find out, you know, he thinks it's Miak the entire time. Yeah.
Ernest,
yeah.
Talking Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Okay, here's some of the cures they tried for the Black Plague. Drinking vinegar, eating crushed minerals, arsenic, mercury, or even 10-year-old treacle, which I don't even know what that is. Here's another one. Sitting close to a fire or in a sewer to drive out the fever.
Man, I'm feeling like fucking shit. Go sit in the sewer, bro.
Yeah, just, hey, I'm feeling pretty sick. You know what? You should probably go sit in the sewer for a little bit, hang out with Pennywise, you know, that'll get rid of it. All right,
yeah, dude, that punk band was something else. I'll tell you.
Yeah, go hang out with the punk band Pennywise from fucking 94. Okay, here's another one. Okay, so if you got the plague, people who believed God was punishing you for your sins went on processions whipping themselves. So if you go on a procession and you whip themselves for sinning, it'll get rid of the COVID maybe. Okay, here's another one. Doctors learn how to help the patient recover by bursting the buboes. What's a bubo? Let's click on that.
Burst the bubo, baby.
Okay, here we go. Bubo.
Burst the bubo.
A bubo is an inflamed swelling of a lymph node, especially in the area of the armpit or groin, that is characteristic of certain infections such as the bubonic plague. So
they're fucking burst that son of a bitch?
Yeah, so the doctors were learning how to help the patient recover by bursting the buboes. And I'm Bebo's. You don't want to burst my Bebo, Bubo.
Don't burst my Bebo, Bubo.
Bubo, don't burst my Bebo.
Well, yeah, man, it's a different time.
I don't know. That seems pretty scientific to me. Here's another good one. Doctors often tested urine for color and health. Some even tasted it to test.
What's
Yeah,
some
it's like,
doctor's
"Here,"
digits?
It's like, just like, "Here, let's see what I got here." All right. Definitely the plague.
He tastes like he's been eating donuts all week.
Yeah, he's the but it doesn't say here how they got rid of it. Let me find
Maybe
this.
it just still exists in the sewers.
No, because and that's the thing is if it was coming from the rats, why did they make people hang out in the sewer? It's like, like I got the plague, go hang out with the rats.
They told that to people that it didn't like.
All right, let's find out. How did they stop the plague? The most popular theory of how the plague ended is through the implementation of quarantines. The unaffected would typically remain in their homes and only leave when it was necessary, while those who could afford to do so would leave the more densely populated areas and live in greater isolation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of clients, clients that are well-to-do, and they got lots of monies. But they've been saying, well, we're going to live in our home in the woods until June, so cancel service until then.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to go live in our other house because we're rich.
And that's what the CDC is saying don't do, is just stay home. Don't go spreading it across country if you got it, possibly to some small-ass city that's 100 people.
We're going to go to our summer home in Barbados.
Okay, so here...
Poconos, the Poconos.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Pokey.
We're going to go to the Pokemon. What cured the plague? It just said treatment. Several classes of antibiotics are effective in treating bubonic plague. These include blah, 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 such as blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah.
We'll absolutely get through this. It's just, people just need to just stay home, man. Larry David said it best. He made a video, and he's like, me. I would never do anything like this. Somebody obviously put me up to it, but I'm just here to say, stay home. You're given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime. To just stay home and fucking watch TV. He's like, don't go outside. Just watch TV. He's like, you're killing old people like me. He's like, you'll never meet me because, pretty much I'm super famous and I'm Larry David, but maybe your grandpa. Just stay the fuck home, watch TV. I was like, yeah, Larry. Thanks, bud.
Love that, man. Okay, so I forget which season. What season of Curb did they do the Seinfeld reunion? Do you remember what season that was?
I believe 8.
Okay. Little known fact. I was watching it on the plane, right? Okay. And when they're filming all of the Seinfeld episode of the reunion, it shows a lot of behind the scenes, and you'll notice, you'll see Larry David, and right behind Larry David is an extra, and it's Eric Andre, and he's in all of those episodes as an extra. He even has he's even got 1 or 2 speaking lines, which meant he got paid a little bit more than an extra. He had a speaking role. But yeah, so Eric Andre, before he was fucking Eric Andre, was on Curb, just in the background, and it's totally him, big hair, everything, and you're like, oh, it's Eric Andre. I saw
that. I saw that, and I kept expecting him to have a big part, but he's just an extra.
No, he's an extra. It's the same thing Allie and I did when we first started dating in 2018. That's how we made money. We were background actors I was on that show Marlon with Marlon Wayans.
Peter Jackson.
And then I got to stand next to Lieutenant Dangle.
I saw that picture. You didn't take a picture or something?
I posted a photo of it, but that was for the TV show Lethal Weapon. And the funny part about all this shit, Ryan, or Ron, whoever you are, Ronzo.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
The funniest part about all this shit is if you're from the Midwest and you post a picture of you being on TV, people are like, you made it, bro. You fucking did it. You're Hollywood now. And the funny part about it is what they don't know is you literally can't talk to the famous people, and you get corralled in there, like and you're not allowed to talk, and you get paid like you're there for like 12 hours and you get paid like $80. So it's just like, it was so funny because I posted that shit. I'm like, I'm on TV, you know, and I was sort of half joking, but people were like,
oh, you're excited about it. That's pretty cool. Lieutenant Dangle is pretty sweet.
It's, well, what it is it's something, it's just like, well, I guess I did this, you know what I mean? I wasn't like, it wasn't like I was proud of it. I just went, it was like, okay, this is what I'm doing for money now. Is like, I got paid to be in the audience of a lot of game shows. So I was like,
that'd be fun as shit to just get blazed and sit there and be like, yeah, so they pay you to be in the audience?
yeah, dude.
Because I'll be like, man, I do that all day, baby.
You get paid like between $14 and $17 an hour and cash. And you just sit there, and I was eating this Cushy Punch edible, which is made with hash oil. So it was like, it was really strong. And I would just get blazed out of my fucking mind. And then I sit there, I'm like, I was in the audience for like Adam Carolla. I was in the audience for Snoop Dogg. I was in the audience for,
dude, that's awesome.
There's this TV show called Funny You Should Ask, which is on, it's like some, it's not like basic cable. It's like WB or some shit. But it's funny because it's all these comedians that were like bigger back in the day, like Louis Anderson and John Lovitz. And so I'm like all baked, and I'm just sitting there, and it's like, I'm Louis Anderson, and it's like, I'm John Lovitz, and I was just like, oh, like,
oh man, how long would it be? Like 2 hours or something?
Well, there were days. Do you know who the guy Joe Buck is? He's like a sports announcer. I'm Joe Buck. He's got like a real good baseball voice. You don't do sports, so you probably don't know who Joe Buck is. But
what's the sports?
What's the sports? But the days where it was the Joe Buck show where he was doing all the interviews, he interviewed like, you know, John McEnroe, like the bad boy tennis player.
I know McEnroe.
Yeah, he interviewed him, and it was like a long form interview. It was kind of like a podcast, but it's on ESPN. So we would sit there. We would be there like 12 hours. So you'd get paid like 12 hours to just sit there, and like, I think I fell asleep. Like,
shit.
I was like, and then
that's pretty sweet.
So you stand in line, and then they let you into the studio, and then you fill up all the seats, and then they just tell you, they're like, okay, clap when we tell you, and stand up when we tell you, and sit down when we tell you, and then leave when we tell you. And then you get in line again, and pretty much you're in line, and you get your money. You know, they tally how many hours you were there for, and they give everyone the same amount of cash.
That's pretty awesome. I would do that. Is it easy to get? Could you do that every day if you wanted?
It's kind of a hustle, you know.
You gotta bust in that bitch or something.
People have agents. Yeah. People have agents to be extras. And this is the other crazy thing is you can have an agent that just shops your headshot around, just to be in the background, because they're looking for people with a certain look, a certain build, athletic, whatever, you know. And I didn't get a whole lot of calls because I just have like I don't even know what you'd call my look. It just doesn't fit like a Hollywood thing. So it's a Bebo look. I'm popping the Bebos. But
when I get that close, I'm forgetting that I'm on a pass cam over here. So this probably gets really well defined.
Well, I'll figure it out, because let's say, I'll figure it out, man. I'm pretty good at editing this shit by now, you know? So anyway, yeah, it's fun. What's funny is, so that's what I was doing for money when I got to Hollywood. I don't do it anymore because it's too far of a drive. And in all of 2019, I had that job at the studio. I was getting paid better money and it was less of a hassle.
Yeah, I mean, driving through the traffic and everything every day would be a son of a bitch, man, just to sit in the TV studio.
If you're not living, if you don't live in Hollywood, then you probably shouldn't work in Hollywood unless you're like close. And when I was in Orange County, I was like over an hour away. So it just was, I just was not going to do that. But the funny part is like my ex and I remember we were getting in an argument and she said, not everyone can just sit on their ass and fucking watch TV shows and get paid for it. And I'm like, well, I can.
That's the American dream, baby.
Yeah,
you sit on your butt, get paid for it, baby.
And yeah, she just, because she was all pissed off because she had to get a restaurant job and she didn't like it and she didn't like me and she didn't like Hollywood and she was just all pissed off at me because I was sitting on my ass and getting paid for it.
I mean, I would encourage that. You're getting paid, you're working. They're paying you to do a job. That's a job.
It wasn't a lot, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't do it now even. Well, it's not like anything is happening right now, but even let's say there wasn't the pandemic, if I wanted to do that type of work, I still would have to drive my big ass van that gets 12 miles to the gallon all the way up to fucking all the way up to Burbank or Hollywood, and that's like, it's like from where I live with traffic, it's like it could be like 40 minutes to an hour. It just not worth it.
Dude, imagine, just flipping the subject here. Imagine the bullshit that's going to come out after all this is done with, because nobody's making anything because it takes teams to make big quality pictures, you know. And so I bet they're just going to go through their vault of bullshit that they scrapped, and it's going to be like remakes of a remake of Jurassic Park, and it's just going to be the worst of the worst.
Well, it's a good thing that you and I don't really give a shit about most of the stuff that's happening anyway. But yeah, I feel like if production on all entertainment has come to pretty much a halt, then yeah, they're just gonna fucking all the shit that they shelved 5 years ago. Like they're gonna they're gonna bring back like the first Sonic before they've changed the whole thing and be like, oh,
that was a marketing ploy.
Oh, you think?
I was watching a video with Biggins down there a while ago, and it was genius because it got everybody talking about the movie. And the movie wasn't that bad. I watched it a week or two ago.
Okay, so they came out with a shitty Sonic on purpose so everyone would freak out and talk about it, and then they changed it, and everyone's like, oh, cool, now I'm actually going to go see it, and they did all this. Yeah, that's
because they were claiming that those were clips from the movie, but those clips, they chose easy ones to just digitally fuck up Sonic easily.
That is pretty genius because everyone was talking about, well, and it brought up this other thing because everyone was talking about how shitty Sonic is, and then everyone was like, yeah, well, you know, now if something is debated or complained about enough on the internet, we can change the outcome of actual big. But it's like, no, they actually just played us as suckers.
Yeah. Hey, it's fucking genius. You gotta get creative. You gotta get creative, baby.
They got me, but I didn't go see that movie because I don't really give a shit what Sonic looks like. I'm still not gonna go see that movie.
It was I didn't see it. I got ways of getting the free movies, if you know what I mean.
No, tell me more.
I can't.
Oh.
Can't. Sorry, dude. But yeah, the movies that are gonna come out are gonna be like the B-roll, like Mr. Bean watches TV.
It's gonna be like
which I would love, actually. So that's a bad example.
Yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe like all these great movies that got shelved will come out, and it'll be like a renaissance, and Hollywood will realize that everything they thought was gonna suck is actually really dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be all the shit people would normally hate, but I would love.
Yeah, they'd be like, well, we found out that if Ron likes it, it pretty much is all that matters.
Munchie strikes back again.
Dom DeLuise from the grave. Is he still alive?
R.I.P. Dom DeLuise, huh?
He's probably not alive.
No, I don't think so.
You know what's crazy is growing up in the 80s, or close to the early 90s, and then everyone that was like a big star or whatever, you just watch them become old as fuck. And it's
So what happens?
well, yeah, it's just real life. But what's crazy is like I can't even wrap my head around the fact that Michael Jackson isn't alive anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was so iconic in the 80s when I was growing up. It's hard to even just be like, yeah, that man is no longer with us. Like, he straight up is not on this earth. And it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I used to see and talk to my mom every day, and she's just not here anymore. It's hard to believe, but that shit happens. You know, I mean, you think that are indestructible. Just we all bleed just like this. We're all bags of flesh and bone. Enjoy every day while you got it, even if you're stuck inside.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, because like, I mean, similarly in my mind, my dad was like this Darth Vader type figure in my life. I never thought for 1 second all of those times I was on stage and talking shit about my dad, and like all those times I was like going on rants about my dad this, my dad that, and all these times.
Never thought he'd be gone.
I never thought one day he would just disappear. And I've told this to a lot of people. It's like, what do you do when your like worst enemy just like disappears? Like what happened, you know, like what happened to Luke Skywalker after fucking Darth Vader just became non-existent, you know?
I don't know, that's a movie. In real life, you deal with it and move on and live every other day, because that's all you can do.
You know what's weird is he was such a little part of my life. Like, I was so estranged from him that there are times where I have to tell myself, like, my inner monologue, I have to be like, yo, he's dead. Like, he is not on a golf trip. He is not living in Tennessee.
Takebacks.
Yeah, he straight up is gone forever. And I remember I got in an argument with my ex once, and she said, and I'll never forget this because it hurt really bad. She said, you're so bent out of shape about your dad dying, and you weren't even close to him. And I think that's one of the main reasons I'm so bent out of shape about it, is because there was never any closure. There was never any conversation. There was never any fixing of the relationship. And then he just disappeared. It's like he just went on this golf trip forever, you know, off this universe. And so it's like, I was in a lot of therapy and I was working through all that. And
that's pretty mean to say to somebody. I've had my ex say mean shit to me, but you know, it's like that stuff. It just seems like that stuff is just said to hurt you.
Yeah, well, there are people that know where to twist the knife. And like, when there was a time when we still were together where I actually was like, you know, when you said that to me, and she didn't even remember saying it. And that's how volatile she was, and how mentally ill she was at the time, because she just was recently diagnosed for being borderline, and like, she was so up and down and manic and then depressed. She was just all over the place. It seemed like she was a different person every 3 hours. And when I brought up to her, I'm like, yeah, you told me, you're like, I don't know why you're so bent out of shape about your dad dying. It's like the most hurtful thing you could say to someone whose dad just died, even if that person wasn't close with their dad. And when I told her that, she straight up didn't even remember saying it. So that, you know, or maybe she did remember saying it, and she just, like, that was her defense mechanism, where she didn't have to own up to it, because she just was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't remember saying that. Like, she acted like embarrassed that that's what she did. So maybe the defense mechanism, she just pretends like it never happened, or maybe she actually didn't remember. I'm not her. It's tough to say. But yeah,
it's just, that's an easy thing to do. Is just go over after somebody who's not there, you know. It's too easy of a target. Like you were saying, people calling, like, you're fat, you got fat. That's easy. It's just like saying, like, when I was a kid, I got in a fight with this kid in like 5th grade. It wasn't even a fight. We were just yelling back and forth. And then I'm walking away, and he's like, "Yeah, at least I have a dad." And and I just ran over to him. I punched him in the stomach, and I ran away crying. Be like, "No," he knew that would get me. And it's just a cheap shot. It's like we're all human beings, because you're gonna lose somebody who's close to you, and then you'll be like, "Oh, that's a terrible thing to say to somebody. It's terrible." It doesn't matter if you were close with them. That person's not there anymore. It's a human being, a human thing, is to grieve somebody that, especially the blood. It still hurts, man. It doesn't matter who it is. Unless that person that you wanted them to die and be like, no, fuck them, And even then, I think if you're happy about it, that's still fucked up.
The weirdest part about the whole thing is I always told myself, like, I wouldn't give a shit when he died.
Easy to tell yourself that.
Yeah, but and that's what I told her. That's what I told my ex. I'm like, there's no way, because she would always talk about how, when her parents die, she's not gonna give a shit because according to her, like one of her parents let her get abused by her stepfather and didn't do anything about it, and so she's just like, yeah, when my mom dies, I'll be fucking happy about it. I'll celebrate. And I told her, I'm like, listen, you don't know how you're going to feel until it happens. And when it happens, you're going to feel a whole bunch of shit that you never thought that you were going to feel about it. And there's no way anyone can try to explain it to you. You'll know when you get there, because there's regret, and there's sadness, and there are things that I wish I could do differently. Like, even though my dad didn't try at all, there's a part of me that's just like, well, maybe that meant I just should have tried harder, and I should have fought to, call him out, and maybe he could be a better guy, and maybe we could have had a relationship. But the thing is like, let's say you get bit by a dog. Every time you get close to a dog, it bites you. After a while, you stop going around that dog,
Oh, yeah.
And
well, you tried.
Every time I was around my dad, he would like leave bite marks, because he would say something, or he would do something that would just make me feel like shit for days.
You know what? My oldest brother said it. I had a neighbor after my mom died, and he's a big, tall guy, was in the army and shit, and a boomer. And when my mom was passed, he would always just like show up, like the ambulance would come, and then he'd be in our house. I'd be like, what the fuck? Or like he'd be smiling when they took my mom away, and the truck, the coroner or whatever, or the funeral home. And I was like, what the fuck, He's smiling. And my brother Andy's like, dude, that's all he's known. He was raised that way. He was raised like his dad was cold as shit. He didn't know anything else. He's smiling because he doesn't know how else to react. He's like, he can't get close and like shed a tear. He smiles because he's in shock. I'm like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. And I saw him working like a couple months in Northville, and he's all happy, and it's just he didn't. Some people grown, especially back then, especially now, people still deal with that, like showing emotion is a sign of weakness and shit. But especially back then, man, that's all they knew.
Yeah, that's team my dad. When I've told this story before, but when my little cousin died when he was 16, we had this funeral, and I was bawling my eyes out. I was in my early 20s, and my 16-year-old baby cousin just died. He just got his driver's license, and he got in a car wreck, and he like almost killed all of his friends too. So there was a lot of young people at this funeral. It was like all these high school kids.
Ugh.
And yeah, my cousin Jeffrey was dead, and I was crying at the funeral, and my dad, his exact words were, wow, you sure got your mother's emotions. And it's like, because he's like, it's like what you're saying. Yeah, he grew up in a fucking situation where his dad was a hard ass, and if you fucking cried, you got hit more, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But you said after your dad passed that he was secretly saving clips of yours and stuff because he was probably always wanted to show it, but he didn't know how to, you know?
Yeah, it was weird as fuck because he after he retired and he took all of when my grandma died, he got a pretty big inheritance, my dad did. And he just like bought a Ford Mustang and he like loaded up his shit in a Ford Mustang and he started driving around the country and just going to different golf courses by himself. And he would carry around this briefcase with him. And I got the briefcase after he passed away, and when I opened up the briefcase, it was like there was a whole folder of shit that was all press clippings from the band, and it was like drawings that I drew for him when I was a little kid, and then there was press clippings from when I was a football jock in high school, and we got write-ups in the paper, and I mentioned my name, and he like highlighted my name and all this shit, and it's like okay, so like it was weird because it's like, okay, so he was proud of me, I guess. But the weird part about it is he never told me that. He never
didn't know how to show it.
Yeah, he just was kind of a broken robot of a guy. Like he's carrying around all this shit he's proud of his kids for doing, but he never would fucking say, I'm proud of you, I love you, I support you, like call me anytime. So it's just, the whole thing is really sad. I used to be pissed off about it, but the whole thing is fucking sad because here's this guy that like can't tell his own kid that he loves him.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible. But
Yeah.
that's the generation.
Yeah, that's that generation. It's like, oh, you got feelings, you fucking gay?
Generation gap, like you were saying.
Yeah, you want to talk a generation gap. We're not talking about Pokemon. We're talking about straight up generation. Anyway, here's that briefcase. Come on.
All I see is drugs and money.
I gotta put it in my body. Here's the briefcase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
that's cool. You still got it.
Yeah, and the actual combination for the briefcase is his birthday, so I'll always remember his birthday.
Nice. It was when my mom got sick. I was doing all of her billing and stuff and using her card, and that's when I realized her number was Big Head and I's birthday. I was like, "Aw, it's nice." Just things after they're gone, you didn't even know. Like you didn't know your dad had that briefcase when he was alive.
No, and you know what? And it would have helped to know something like that. It would have helped to know.
He could have easily just told you and showed you that, but he just couldn't.
He just wasn't that type of guy. The only time he ever told me he loved me was on greeting cards for like birthdays, and he wouldn't write "love you," "I love you." He would write "love ya," Y-A, love ya, love ya. And
yeah,
it's I guess it's better than nothing, but it always felt so insincere. The whole love ya.
Absolutely.
Never got a hug. Never.
Yep.
He never said I was proud of you, but one time he gave me a greeting card for like my birthday, and it said blah 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 blah, and then you open it up and it said that's my son, and then yeah, so he like in his own weird way he kind of tried, but he just was really bad at it. But ultimately, I don't hate the guy anymore. I'm just kind of sad that he was raised in a way where he was so toxically masculine, where he couldn't even tell his own fat little kid that all I wanted my whole life was just for my dad to tell me that he loved me and he was proud of me. And it's just pretty much 30 something years of him just being like too much of a robot to say those things. It's the whole thing's sad. He died a very sad, lonely dude.
Yeah, man, that's no way. I'm sure it was eating him up inside. I bet he wishes it wasn't that way, but some people are just bitter. bitter. Some people want to be sad. You don't know what anybody's going through, man. Everybody's fucking different. It's a bizarre world.
But I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want to have anything in my life so messed up that if I like died tomorrow, I would just totally regret not trying. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It'd be something hard to deal with.
Because according to my sister, when he was dying of cancer, he told my sister that when he beat it, he was going to get the family back together. But it's like, it was too late. You know? Like, he had chances. He had like a 15, 20 years worth of chances.
Yeah.
And he just... You can't just put it off till you're dying.
No, you need to make the changes way before that.
You know?
Because you could die, you know. You'd both be sitting here right now. A meteor could hit the earth. Who fucking knows? Air conditioner from on top of a building could fall.
Piano could fall on you.
Piano, you could fall. You could fall. Your dick could get stuck in a pipe, get sucked down, and sucks your intestines out through your dick. That could happen.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
Happened to me last week.
Yeah, are you okay?
Well, I had to suck my intestines back through my dick hole.
Whatever it gets loud on your microphone, it cuts out.
Oh,
like
okay.
When you sing or something?
Yeah,
when you were singing Mbop?
Yeah, well, the thing is I got it on my end, so it don't matter. We'll be good.
So, I guess those motherfuckers in Ace of Base are a bunch of Nazis, huh?
That's what I heard, but like, who said that though?
Shrimp Dog said it. Thomas Price said it. Nathan Davis. They all said, because I posted some stupid post about it.
Oh, you want to hear some gossip, Ron?
Uh-oh.
Guess who deleted Coach Snake on Facebook?
Because of his rhetoric? His talk?
Well, because of his Coach Snakeness. See, the thing about Coach Snake is once you know Coach Snake, you know that Coach Snake he's just Coach Snake. Like, he just does coach-like things. Mm-hmm. Coach Snake is the type of dude that will lock himself in a hotel room during Y2K with a loaded shotgun. You know, Coach Snake is the kind of guy that, you know, will go to a bathhouse and have, 37 men around him. You know, Coach Snake is the kind of guy that, Ron and Don will get butt naked at some weird hotel in Nevada and chase him around the hotel room. I mean, Coach Snake does.
We weren't naked when we did that. We were naked when we went skinny dipping down.
Okay, all right.
That was Florida.
No, that was Nevada. That was Prim Valley.
No, when we were in bed with Coach.
Oh, okay.
And he came out to
regardless, I try to tell our mutual friend that deleted Coach Snake, I try to be like, dude, I just let Coach be Coach, And if you don't want to hear him spouting off the coachness, you can just you don't have to delete him from Facebook. You can just take a break or you can, turn the notifications off. You can hide them. But apparently our friend, just couldn't handle the coach anymore. And then he wrote this happened today on Facebook. He wrote, "Bye-bye, Bartek." He wrote, "Bye-bye." And that was all his status was, our friend Nate.
What do you mean?
Nate deleted Bartek from Facebook. And
he said bye-bye?
And then he posted a status that just said, "Bye-bye, Bartek."
Really?
Yeah.
That's one I'm surprised.
That's some gossip right there.
I haven't seen even Coach Snake post. I haven't been on Facebook. I'm only on there a few times a day now, and it's just to post dumb shit. But like, Coach is posting.
Well, the thing that Coach is doing is
Why did he?
Coach realized that on Twitter you won't get zucked essentially because you can on Twitter. I don't know if you noticed this, but Ron, have you ever like followed any porn stars on Twitter? Like you can post straight up porn on Twitter. You can post penetration, like Riley Reid will just post like video clips of her getting banged on Twitter, and that's just what Twitter
is. I need to get
on
Twitter.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you like boobs. You like Riley. Boobs. You like Riley Reid. Get on there.
Riley Reid.
But she, you know that meme that was going around where it's just like the girl and she says, "Oh, I'm gonna come." It's Riley Reid. She's a famous porn star chick. But anyway, Coach is on Twitter and he's posting 4,000 times a day about the virus because according to Coach, this is the same thing that happened in the Stephen King novel, The Stand. It's pretty much the same thing. Although it's
a pandemic. That's what happens in a pandemic.
The one difference between the Stephen King novel and what's happening right now is in the Stephen King novel, the disease Captain Trips, it kills 99% of all humans on the earth. You know?
There's a movie called The Flu from I forget where it's at. It might be Japan, but it's the exact same scenario.
But either way, Nate just had enough of Bartek during this pandemic, and he just had to cut ties.
So Nathan goes on Twitter?
No, he doesn't go on Twitter, but he just got sick of Coach Snake being on Facebook talking about Twitter. That's all it took.
Oh, I haven't seen his posts about it. He sent me a message with a link that I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't get it, but that's all I got.
I'm trying to avoid the mass media panic. And so I'm pretty much staying in my little bubble. I talked to this dude today who knows a lot about what's going on, and he heeds the CDC warnings, and we had a long, in-depth conversation about it. And I actually trust him more than I trust fucking CNN or Fox News or any of that shit. So I talked to him, and other than that, I'm just gonna try to be in my little quarantine bubble with Allie and not have a panic attack every day. So
that's what I did, man. I was I got my phone. I was like, no matter how many things I unfollow on Google, it keeps bringing this up, and I know the state we're in, and I know that it's going to be millions infected. And I know I follow pandemics. I have since high school and stuff, and I know how they pan out. And I just said, fuck it, man. I went incognito on my Google, and it is the best thing that I wasn't sleeping because I would wake up and just read news stories, and then I'd be like, oh God. And so now I don't have that problem, and I actually sleep through the night, and I feel a lot better, because I do have to go out and work every day outside. I don't have to go into buildings, but I still have to leave my house. I'd rather not, but I do it. And yeah, man, just the news is always going to try to scare you even more because they want you to keep watching. Just like after 9/11, man, all my mom did was watch the news.
That's all my mom is doing right now. She quarantined herself, and all she does is she's got CNN on literally all day. And what's cool is she's actually listening. She hasn't left the house since this started, and
That's great.
She's getting her groceries delivered, and she like the neighbor across the street is making sure that she's okay, and she doesn't have any symptoms. Knock on wood. But she's doing all the right things. But yeah, but the one thing she's doing that isn't gonna help is literally watching the news all day is just gonna like turn you fucking batty.
It's bad news. It's all bad news too, and that's the one thing is like they're not showing you any news reports of them getting out and stuff. Like a 95-year-old man in Italy beat it, it's just nobody knows what the fuck it is, so it's always going to be changing and it's always going to be scary. So it's just stay up to date every once in a while, like to see what the CDC's saying, and just stay home, man. Like, if you can, if you don't have to go out and fucking work and you don't have a reason to go out, just stay home.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
I did a little live stream, and someone commented and said, because I do that TJ Maxx song, and someone said, "Oh, all my friends just got laid off from TJ Maxx," and my immediate response was good. If I had to be like, and props to anyone that's essential or anyone that's working right now, but like I would be more scared if I had to leave the house every day than I am fucking sitting here doing nothing. Honestly, like the fact that I know you get to work outside and that's a blessing and all, but imagine if you like worked at a fucking grocery store.
I think about that.
Or if you worked in a fucking hospital that didn't have enough masks. Like imagine how terrifying that is to just conceptualize. My props go out to anyone who's essential right now, because I'm scared. I'm scared to death, and I haven't even fucking left the house in days.
Dude, I've been doing this job a while, and the pooper scooper. I'm a manager now, but I still am out on the road, and I always like wait for garbage men to like wave at me, or something, because I'm in waste management too, and they never did. They never really acknowledged me. And now I'm out there with the garbage men, and they wave at me, give me peace signs and shit, be like, solidarity pretty much. It's like, wow, I've actually earned their respect through a pandemic. I'm part of the waste management crew now.
Well, and I think that's one good thing that's going to come out of this is I think there's no way after all this is said and done and we can actually go out and be regular ass humans again. I think a lot of the petty bullshit, at least for a minute, is going to get kind of put to the side, and everyone's going to be nice to each other for a minute. It will eventually settle back into all being shitheads again.
That's what happened at the 9/11. You remember how nice everybody was for like 2 or 3 weeks?
And then it was like, yeah, fuck you, eh?
Yeah. I saw a funny video, how everybody in Italy was singing on their porches. There was a video of somebody singing in New York, and he's like, shut the fuck up! It's like, good old New York. Yeah, walking over here. I got a hot dog.
Can't you see I'm walking over here?
I got a hot dog over there.
Yeah, well, along the same lines, there was a video that went viral a couple years back, and it's like this, this white girl that's just like, I finally made it to New York, and she's doing the selfie, and then some guy goes, hey lady, shut the fuck up. And
it's
then
the fucking thing. I've watched that so many times.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much because in Italy, when everyone was on quarantine, I guess they all sang on their balconies together, and someone was going, Riva Rabea, and then someone goes, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I like that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, New York has its charm. We just, Allie and I just got done watching like a 7-minute compilation of all the Eric Andre Subway stunts.
Oh,
When he's got the cone on, he starts pouring the Fruit Loops in there with the milk. He's like, oh, I didn't get my job at the Fruit Loop factory. So
Eric,
good.
Seeing him live was like one of the best experiences. Like,
it's funny.
I took Rick Todd Farson out on a man date.
Oh, that's cute.
RTF. It was cute. Yeah, we had a good time.
I remember.
Shout out to RTF.
Yeah, shouts out RTF, Rick Todd Farson for
life.
Rick Todd Farson for life. But I remember. What's funny is when Allie first saw Tim and Eric, she was like, "Oh, this is kind of like Eric Andre," and I'm just like, "You got it backwards, toots."
Hey, toots.
Hey, toots, you got it backwards.
I wonder why they call women toots in the first place. What does that even reference? Toots.
Here, let's look it up.
What's toots? How do you spell it? T-U-U-T?
I think it has something to do with. I think it has something to do with Betty Boop. Let's look it up. Toots, women.
Is it spelled tuts or toots?
I put toots. Let's see. Okay,
Is
here
it
we go.
Toots or toots?
Here we go. There's a whole article on it. Okay, what is the origin of the term toots to refer
Is it
to a woman?
derogatory?
Let me. I think if you called someone toots, that was
Hey,
like,
toots.
hey, watch where you walking, toots. I think if you called someone toots, like a woman, an empowered woman, or like or even just a regular ass woman would probably take offense to it now.
That was like the
I think it's offensive. I think it's derogatory.
the old time C word
I don't.
when they were still clean.
Here, let's read this. Let's read this. Let's read this. It says when speaking to. Yes.
Keep speaking. I'm gonna go get a Mountain Dew.
Oh, fine. I guess you can go get a Mountain Dew. Okay, well, I'll keep speaking. You go.
I just want to know if it's derogatory. So. I
okay.
took out my headphones.
Okay. Well, I'll tell the listeners.
Tell the story.
So this is from the internet. When speaking to my female friends, I frequently use the term toots to refer to them. These are friends who know that I'm using it ironically as part of my enjoyment of using antiquated terminology. In other words, I don't wish to engage in a debate on whether or not I'm not a misogynist. Okay, we know you're not a misogynist. A few dictionary searches have shown that it is likely a shortening of the word tootsie. But a search on that does not shed any light on its origins. It merely suggests that the origin is obscure. Okay. So apparently no one knows where toots came from. But apparently toots is slang familiar form to address a woman or girl. 1936. Short for tootsie or tootsie wootsy, a familiar form of address to a sweetheart, originally a playful nursery rhyme for a small foot, from childish pronunciation of foot, tootsie.
For toes?
So it doesn't, according to this, it doesn't really seem dry. Okay, here we go. What does it mean when you call a girl toots? It's slang, comma, sometimes derogatory. Babe, sweetie, a term used when addressing a young woman, especially one perceived as being sexually available. Hey, toots. So I guess it is kind of derogatory. I call
Don't
Allie
use toots.
I call Allie toots all the time, but she and I have a sense of humor.
Can you even see my face?
Yeah. Yeah, babe, I can see you. Ooh.
You were curious about what to watch?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm curious about a lot of things, Bebo.
Have you ever watched Comedy Bang Bang? With Reggie Watts.
Oh. Is it, what year is that from? I've never.
Comedy Bang Bang, 2016.
Oh, okay. Because wasn't it around before it was on TV, or?
I have no idea. Scott Ackerman is the main guy. He's in a lot of shit.
Is it good?
Comedy. Oh, it's incredible. There's 6 seasons, 5 seasons, and at the end, I think it's the last 2 seasons. Weird Al's the musical host. And he's in the skits and shit. It's really good.
Weird Al's great in Tim and Eric too. I didn't.
Oh hell yeah! Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes.
Oh, and Bob Odenkirk. Are you a fan of Breaking
Mr.
Bad
Show?
or Better Call Saul? I know you're a Mr. Show fan, but do you care?
I love both of those shows, but I'd have to say after watching both recently, I think I got more into Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is the best show on television right now, I think.
It's so good. He's such a good actor.
And yeah, I was just watching this video that it pretty much said the reason Better Call Saul is so good is because you already know what happens, but so they could get very detail oriented into the story. Like you're almost more emotionally invested because you know what's gonna happen. It was the argument, and I was like, But have you been watching it recently, like the newest season?
Season 4, or is it for the
No,
5?
they're on season 5, episode 7 already, bruh.
Where do I watch it? Because I don't have cable. Do I go on the Hulu or something?
Oh, you need someone's cable password. So
I don't have anybody's cable.
yeah, or you got to sign up for the AMC app, which costs like $10 a month or something like that.
$10 a month?
Yeah, well, AMC has all of the Walking Dead shit that everyone loves.
Don't care.
Neither do I. But you know who loves Walking Dead?
Who?
Coach Snake.
Oh!
The recently divorced coach.
I can't believe it. That is crazier than news. And Kim Kardashian marrying what's his name? Toby Keith.
I think. That happened. Toby Keith and Kim Kardashian. Huh?
They're together, right?
Yeah. They're married and they have children.
Oh, that's beautiful. Good for them, you know.
Well, this is all I gotta say about that. It's like if you've known Coach for 10+ years, then you shouldn't be annoyed when he's annoying, because Coach sometimes is a lot. And you know what? A lot of people say the same thing about our friend Nate Davis.
Ba, 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 ba. Every time I hear that song.
But you know what? This is the thing.
Triple
Lindy. You know what? This is the thing, is I'm friends with a lot of people that some people are like, wow, that person's too much. But those are some of the most interesting kind of people, or people that they rub other people the wrong way. You know, like I love Nate and I love Coach. You know?
I love that. Yeah, man. I mean,
there was a time where my old roommate Noah was too much. He was like really intense to hang out with, and people kind of got this guy's too much. That was their reaction. But I love Noah, and you know, I've always been drawn to eccentric people that are intense. So I just kind of let people do their thing, and I don't really delete. The only time I delete someone from Facebook is if they post some racist shit or some really sexist shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe he deleted him. I mean, why not just unfollow him? He's done. Their friendship's done.
Well,
I can't see that.
I'm pretty sure if they ended up hanging out in a real world setting, Nate wouldn't be like, get the fuck away from me. Because, I don't know, a lot of people are braver behind a keyboard. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, what was Coach saying? Was it just a bunch of false shit or something?
It's, he's just freaking out about this being the end of days. You know, but Coach has been waiting for the end of the world his whole life. That's like he literally has been preparing for this in his brain for something cataclysmic to occur, so he could just be like, a lot of people have. So he could just be like, I told you so. I told you. I've been telling you for 28 years that we're doomed. And like it's like what you said. A lot of people, the apparently the lines at the gun store were astronomically long when this first happened. We were in Santa Rosa, and we were staying at this dude's house, and he went and bought a gun that day because they were about to lock everything down. And he said he got up super early, and he like waited in line just to pick up a gun he had already bought. And he gets back and he was just telling us about it. And it was a scary day because it started off, we woke up and we're at this nice house and this dog's licking us. And then this guy walks in and he's just like, yeah, I bought myself this piece, and starts like flashing his gun around. And we're all just like, he's like, yeah, that was like one of the things that made me scared when I was on that tour, because it's like, okay, people are buying guns, and then I went into a Walmart and there's no toilet paper, and everyone's like just buying up all the water. And then the next day they canceled the NBA. The next day they canceled Disneyland, and it was just like, I didn't do any research because I was driving the van. You know, I was trying to get to the gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was real easy. And that's why I understand where Bartek's coming from. Like, if you've been waiting for the end of the world your whole fucking life, something like this takes up prime real estate in your brain to have a freak out and like just completely lose your mind over.
All you see, I bet like all you would see, because I've seen it too as I drive out there, is just chaos. You see all the things that could happen.
Yeah.
But reality is shit's probably just never gonna happen, man. None of that shit, like,
Well,
I mean, I just don't see that happening. Like, if it was gonna happen, wouldn't it have happened by now, you know, like, just complete collapse. Like, of the government be like, oh, fuck, I'm out of this motherfucker. They wouldn't just be sticking around. They'd be like, you're on your own.
Yeah,
I mean, they are in a way now, but, you know, nothing's changed there. It's always kind of been that way. Hope for the best, you know.
holy shit, it's almost 8:30 here.
What time is that over here?
We've been on this call for
Oh.
an hour and 53 minutes.
Oh my god!
So
I'm glad I took a nap.
yeah, I gotta take a nappy. I don't know. Maybe we should pause and I'll spend some time with Bebo.
Yeah,
And
do your shit, man.
because that's the other thing too. I've been doing so many of these fucking podcasts that I've been neglecting my partner. And
Don't do that, dude. That's stupid, bro.
yeah, so pretty much,
Fucking stupid.
you know how you like clock in and you clock out when you do a job? I'm gonna, like, during this quarantine, I gotta actually I gotta pick a time where I'm done.
I was telling that to Amanda because all she's doing is working on her media shit and her Etsy store, and she's just spending all day thousands of pictures and shit. I'm like, you know, you wear yourself out. You know, you're not taking a weekend like you would with your job working 40 hours a week, except now you're working like 50, 60. It's like it's the same scenario. You're still sitting at a screen. You gotta take a break, especially if you got your partner there.
It's all about learning that balance, you know? And because before, what balanced our time together out was she would go work and then I would go on tour, you know, like we would, and then we would, it was healthy to spend some time apart, but now it's weird because we literally are in the same fucking cube of space, but we're barely spending any time together because I'm literally like, how do I figure out how to do this podcast thing? And how
It's funny because last week I talked to you, it wasn't even a week ago. You're like, I'm not doing nothing. I was like, do something, bro. And you're like, I'm not going to do anything. And now you're doing everything.
Well, it's weird how it's weird how that works, because I remember I was like, I'm not going to do a live stream. I'm not going to do anything. And then I got bored. And then now I'm like literally doing too much. So
good. That's good. You don't. Dika, she posted something the other day. Shouts out to Dika, Dekels. But just you don't have to start a side hustle. You don't have to work on anything. It's a pandemic and it's scary. You could just sit there working on you. You don't have to do anything, man. If that's what you feel like is sitting around, do it. If you feel like occupying your time with streaming and stuff, do it. It's a different time. It's 2020. Isn't that fucking weird? It's 2020, like Jetsons.
Ruck-roo, Roy.
Ruck you, Roy.
But what's weird, is it goes by so quickly. I was putting together that backyard wrestling footage from like 2001, and that shit was almost 20 years ago, bruh.
It's crazy, man. Times, baby. The times, baby.
We were just some young dicks in a big dick world, you know?
Young dicks, tiny dicks, and a big old dick bowl.
We were just tiny dicks, and our dicks were young, too. Tiny young dicks.
We're just a couple of little dicks.
Oh, the other thing, too, is about the whole coach thing. His coach came out on Facebook and said that he's on the autism spectrum. And it's like, anyone who knows Coach probably could gather that he's high-functioning autistic. And and that's the other reason why it's just like, okay, so like this guy annoys you. Well, he's got social issues. Everyone's a little
He's our
off,
coach, baby.
but he's our coach, and it's like we need to end this whole weirdo on weirdo butthole measuring contest. Like. I think Nate's a weirdo. I think Coach is a weirdo. I think, there's a way for us to coexist. Even just virtually on the boop. Just let Coach be Coach and let Nate be Nate, and
He publicly divorced him.
Well, that's
public.
Yeah, well,
the public would be me and you. But I didn't even see it. You and I. Us and yes.
I'm just not
Are you painting?
No, I'm just have a little pencil and I'm going, da, 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 or I'm painting. I'm drawing a butthole here.
Oh, you're
and a little dick here. And ooh.
Is it blue behind you? It is weird.
What happened?
Is that perfect timing? I asked if it was blue behind you, and it turned completely blue.
That's the universe, baby.
That's fucking weird, man.
That's the universe.
That's weird. But it's not blue behind you, is it?
Not anymore, but it was right when you said it.
That's weird, dude. I don't have any control over it, man. I don't have any control over it, man.
And I know you hear a bunch of hippy dippy motherfuckers being like, oh, the universe is connected and, there's coincidences that can't be explained and yada. But literally you looked at my screen and you said, is that blue behind you? And then it switched to blue. Explain that.
That was pretty bizarre.
Explain that, science. Okay, so think about it. What are the odds? We've been talking for 2 hours and 15 seconds. What are the odds that you just go, is that blue behind you? And the fucking short portion of this looped video where it's blue just turns blue immediately.
That was really bizarre. I'm sorry. That was fucking weird, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
I mean, is it weird? Is it weird or is it fucking bootyful, baby?
That'd be $1,000,001.
Yeah, that'd be like me being like, hey, is that Paul Rodriguez behind you? And then all of a sudden, fucking $1,000,001 poster.
No, that was pretty bizarre.
Dude.
But yeah, that's the universe.
The universe is... And that's why I consider myself to be agnostic because I can't say that I don't believe in a higher power because I don't think I fully would understand it even if it existed. You understand?
So yeah, I understand. But here's a question: if you're agnostic, would you be on a front?
How about that? If you're agnostic, what are you fronting?
Agnostic fronting.
But I'd be agnostic fronting. No, but seriously, there's been so many weird coincidences that have happened in my life. It's hard for me not to think that there's some sort of thing out of our understanding that it is connecting all of us, or we're on. Like I can't say I know for sure. I don't discount the possibility of there being some sort of weird cosmic energy that ties us all together. It might not be, like a fucking deity. It might not have a beard. It might not have like 8 dicks, but
I would hope it has a little bit more than 8.
Let me tell you this story real quick. Okay, so Did you ever meet Joe, who played saxophone for DTB when we did that one Psycho Stick tour from Denver?
Yeah, I met him like once or twice.
Okay,
he's a nice guy.
We met him at Skatopia too. He had a big old mohawk.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah. So Joe, he was in town in LA from Denver. And he said, "Hey, we should meet up and hang out." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." But I was just started hanging out with Allie at the time. So we ended up, we didn't end up crossing paths. And Joe was with his girlfriend, and they were like in the LA area. And then so Allie and I just totally forgot about it. And we ended up going up to San Francisco on a road trip because we're just like, we'll just like skip town and spend money we don't have and go eat sushi and go hang out in San Francisco because neither of us are working very much and we're being very reckless with our decisions. So we decided to go to San Francisco. And as we're driving up there, we decide on a whim to go to Santa Cruz and go to this place called the Mystery Spot. And the Mystery Spot is this roadside attraction where somehow gravity is affected by... they can't explain it. Either they can't explain it or it's just an illusion. Because you can like stand sideways. There's like no gravity in this one part of this mystery spot that is in Santa Cruz. So we look up online when they close, and we're driving, and we're like, we can get there right before this mystery spot closes, and we can check out the mystery spot. So we get there just in time to be the member of the last group that gets taken to the mystery spot. And as we're sitting there waiting to go in there, these two people walk in, and Allie points and says, "Hey, that girl is wearing a Downtown Brown hoodie." And I look over, and it's Joe, and Joe's girlfriend happened to be in Santa Cruz, California on the same day, at the same time as the last group of people going to see the mystery spot that day. We just happened to, and we didn't plan it. We didn't talk about it beforehand. We didn't coordinate it whatsoever. We just happened to show up in the same exact place at the same exact time.
That's crazy, man.
Like,
the chances are astronomical.
Because first of all,
that happened to me.
He doesn't even live in California, and we were supposed to hang out in LA, but I just totally shit the bed on it and skipped town. And then, so weird. But anyway.
Went to the mystery spot.
Yeah.
Well, that shit happens to me. Like, it happened with this Amanda girl, my girlfriend. Our first date, she came to my apartment, and it's hard to find on a GPS, so she just parked in the front of the building. I said, "I'll come walk to you, and then we'll just go in my car." And it was dark, so I didn't see her car. But last year, my buddy Lehman, shouts out to Lehman, he sold me this car, and it was a Scion TC. I never heard of it before, never seen one in my life. It's a nice car. And so we walked to my car, and she stops in her tracks. She said, "Get the fuck out of here." And she just starts laughing. I said, "What?" And she's like, "You have a fucking Scion TC?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I got a fucking Scion TC." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I've only seen one other one on the road."
What are the odds of that?
It's very, very, very slim.
You meet a stranger on the internet, and she comes over, and you guys have the exact same car.
Yep. Hers is a lot nicer than mine, but still.
Right, but still, like, you didn't know her from before. You met her online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bumble. So, and it was, I've never seen anybody on the road with the Scion TC before. Like I said, I didn't even know they existed before I got mine.
What, did she have any mutual friends that you know? Okay, so yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy. It blew my mind.
I feel like Southeast Michigan, everybody like knows each other somehow, like just from Facebook, because you go on someone else's Facebook profile and it has the mutuals. Mm-hmm. There are people that I worked with at Cranks that like know my cousin and shit. Like it's a small world, Southeast Michigan.
Oh yeah, man.
So
She didn't even know mutuals.
That's wild. She doesn't know anyone we know.
Yeah. I was like,
Crazy.
it's still new, but I was talking about just wait until you meet Don. Wait until you meet Don. He's a different breed, that Don. He's I have a hard time knowing Don for many years if he's being serious or not. Just the way he says things, and he even turns his laugh into us. Like if he starts to genuinely laugh, he turns it automatically into a sarcastic laugh, that where it's just blatantly sarcastic. It's like ha 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 ha. But it's like you can't make him laugh without doing it now. It's like Don.
That was the thing about Don's brother that was kind of scary. Is you like, it's that whole those foster boys, those 3 boys are like
The boys.
They're like, their senses of humor are like really intense, like all 3 of them, and so much of it revolves around making the other person uncomfortable. That it really is something to when they're all together. It's something to witness. There's some sort of a diabolical trifecta of humans. Like they're all 3 of them are like really quick and smart, but like you don't know if they mean a goddamn word that are coming out of their mouth. Like,
I mean, we have real conversations,
yeah,
but for
of
the
course,
most part, the most part, it's Don's the most sarcastic, and he's always got this number. When I say how much that run you, if it was like a sandwich or something that he ordered on Grubhub when I'm over there, when I was going over there before the quarantine in 2020.
right.
But he's always got this number. He always goes $777,000. It's always $777. 77 cents. It's always the sevens all the time. Don, shouts out to Dern.
You're on the Herd with Dern. Next
You're
caller.
the Herd of Dern.
Yeah, a part of me, when all this shit is over and when my lease is up, there's a part of me that just misses being in Michigan. I'm starting to wonder if being out here and like chasing some sort of a career is even worth it, because a part of me would just rather be like making dick jokes and jamming and like just like having, because that's all. Before I got so focused with like trying to make something of myself, like I already was like having a pretty good time and doing my own thing in Michigan, and I just always wanted more. But now it's like I'm just kind of like, man, wouldn't it be fucking chill just to like have a jam spot and like, everyone's not in like 400 different bands, and everyone's not like trying to make money playing music. Everyone's got like a day gig and they're just cool with that. Like,
that's the best thing the Tron's been for me. It's purely for fun and just having an outlet.
And it's fun jamming with your friends too.
Oh God, we could do so much jamming. Bro.
Because out here everyone's like pretty much they're like looking at their watch the whole time. Because time is fucking money, and most motherfuckers come out here to like make money playing music, but pretty much what that means is you're focused mainly on making money. And the one thing I'll always say about Detroit and the musicians that are in Detroit is most motherfuckers care more about being in a cool project than they do making money. They get really involved in shit and nobody is fucking like making a buck. You know? And that's what makes like the music so much more pure and interesting. If like, not to say that there's not interesting music happening in LA, but I feel like people care more in Detroit about really expressing themselves and you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Because
there's more of the to drive to always make something different than the other band's making. Something that will stand out, and it's always a strive to push.
I just feel
that's always been my goal.
I just feel like no one's really concerned with being successful. Like,
hell no, man. I think that's where the good music comes.
That's what I'm saying. They just are doing shit because this is what I feel. And there's stuff like that happening out here. There's a bunch of like weird, crazy shit, but I feel like
it's like that everywhere.
I feel like when you're so concerned with paying this like really high cost of living, you really do have to prioritize money. And if like a place like Detroit, like you can get by on a little bit less, and there's not every fucking one who's good at drums flies out and moves to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They all go to fucking LA or New York and shit. So like most of these motherfuckers answering these, like I put up a Craigslist ad looking for a drummer. It was fucking nuts, man.
Why? What happened? Anything crazy? Any crazy audition?
No, because most people are just like, "What's the pay?" That's like the first question. Yeah. And I like listed all of the influences and how many albums we put out and said it's like this meets this meets this. Like tried to describe what the music is like, and people were like, "I don't give a fuck what the music's like. What's the money situation?"
Oh yeah, it's expensive, man. It's expensive out there.
And the thing is band dudes that like play instruments are like, man, bands aren't as cool as they were in 2001. Like being in if unless you're in like some sort of weird experimental hip hop trio or something where you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Or if you're what's the word? A butthole tangle band.
Huh?
A butthole tangle band.
Butthole what?
Tangle.
Butthole tangle?
Butthole tangle band.
I don't know what you're saying.
There's a butthole tangle band.
A butthole tangle pan?
Butthole tangle band.
I'm feeling the effects, man.
Oh god, dude. Are you okay?
I might die. I might
Are
be
you
like,
okay? What'd you dose, bro?
I'll be all right.
What'd you dose, bro?
What'd I do?
Yeah, how much? Just one?
Oh, 20 milligrams.
Oh no, it's happening, huh?
I'm a lightweight though.
I can already tell your eyes are dilated and turning purple.
Yeah, dude. I'm turning into a... Is that a pillow with your face on it? Oh, man. Where'd you get that? Oh, my God. Dude, where'd you get that?
My buddy Levin gave it to me as a Christmas present.
Oh, my God. That's the best thing I've ever seen. I'm surprised you never put that on the boop.
I have before when he gave it to me.
Oh, okay, because I don't remember seeing that.
It got like one like, bro.
That's bullshit, though. Like that's
no, it got lots. Like at least 777.
Yeah, it got 777,000 likes. Dude, that thing is so amazing, man. I thought it was Post Malone for a second, but then I was like, is that you?
A little sexier than Post Malone, my man.
I got Carmella a pillow that has Post Malone's face printed all over it for Christmas.
Does
one
it
year.
do this?
It doesn't do that, no. That has it beat. Oh, shit.
Post Malone, baby.
Post
real quick.
Rygar, that's you. How does the music go again?
That That's Superman or something. That was my ringtone for years. That is it. Okay. What's the one I had as a ringtone for years and years that I can't remember now?
Oh no, I can't remember it either.
Oh,
Was it NES?
yeah. On the first,
Was it the Rygar theme? Was that your ringtone?
maybe that what was playing.
I don't think it was though. I think it was something different.
No, it was Rygar.
No way.
Yeah, it was Rygar. Because the very first Drawn show, Rick Todd Farson was there, and I had him. It was at PJ's in Detroit, and I had Rick Todd Farson come up, and I had the sound guy specifically set up one microphone just for Rick Todd Farson at the beginning, and I
To
said,
call your
okay,
phone?
no, to sync the Rygar songs. I went on one microphone and put it up, and then he went on the other, and I told him to start it on a delay, so it was just really loud. Both of them played at separate times. Everybody was just like, what? So I called him up, he did that, and then I was like, everybody, Rick Todd Farson.
The funniest part about that is like, I can just picture like the meeting you guys had beforehand. You'd be like, okay, you get up and play Rygar, and then I'll play it too, but we won't start it at the same time. It'll just be Rygar playing on two separate channels.
Yeah, well, I think originally I was just try to play it at the same time, but that's probably not going to happen, so just play it, you know? And it ended up being really off.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's something Drawn would do.
I got video of it.
Oh, awesome. You should post it.
Big Head, it's, I wonder if I don't think it's on YouTube. No, it's not. I'll have to ask Big Head. He's down there.
Biggie has some footage from Dress to Molest up on YouTube. Somewhere.
Yeah. That cell phone footage? Was that Big Head? No, he wasn't at that show.
He was at the one at the Token, wasn't he? He filmed
Yeah, that was the Token. That was like one of my favorite shows, that first Dress to Molest.
The one at Smalls.
Yeah. That was one of my all-time favorite shows.
I barely remember. The only thing I remember about that is Nate was drinking in somebody's car before the gig, and we didn't have a van. It was somebody's like minivan.
Yeah.
Or like I want to say it was like your old car or some shit. Like it
wasn't mine. I don't know. I could have been. I remember he was drinking red wine and trying to remember the lyrics.
Oh, he was drinking red wine in Harry Bob's van. Harry Bob drove us to that gig, remember?
Yeah. Harry Bob did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How crazy is that? Harry Bob drove us to the first gig where you and I played bass on stage together.
Why did Harry Bob drive? Oh, because he was still in DTB.
He was still in DTB, and we were the side project, and we were living at the house in Royal Oak, so we all met there, and Harry Bob drove us down to Smalls.
Oh yeah, dude. And yeah, there was no intention of me being in that band at that time. It was just Dress to Molest.
But the thing is Nate was so coked out when we got together to jam for the first time that it ended up just being Don, you, and me just jamming for like hours while Nate just like stayed upstairs and did coke by himself.
Yeah. I think he only came down once or twice.
He was, because he was all pissed off at me at the time.
Yeah, and you were drinking. That's when you started drinking again once. You just started drinking at that practice because you were so stressed out.
Yeah, those are dude. Living in that house was crazy, man. That staircase that went down to the bathroom that had the checkered tile, so it looked like a ska fucking floor, like checkered black and white tile flooring. Yeah. But they were big checkers. Like each one of them was maybe like 4 inches by 4 inches. So it was this big ska floor. And then Nate had his computer in the corner, and then he had those two pinball machines that he ended up selling, but he had an Elvira one and he had a Kiss one, and then he had a giant cutout of Mankind, the wrestler, and then there's just all these boxes in the basement that are full of like unopened Simpson figures, because he like went and bought like unopened boxes of like comic book type shit, memorabilia, all this old wrestling stuff. He had all of this vintage porn, all these vintage porno magazines, like from like, some of them were like 20 plus years old.
Yeah, I remember seeing the porno.
And then he had a VHS collection that took up an entire room, like an entire bedroom was just fucking.
I loved it. I would
Dude,
always go in there.
It was amazing. Dude, that house was fucking crazy.
There's a lot of cool shit in there. I was only in there a handful of times, but I was like, whoa, there's so much cool shit in here.
And Nate had his own bedroom, but he would just sleep on the couch, and he had that big screen TV, and all we would do is like vaporize weed, smoke bongs, and do drugs and get drunk. And there was just like, it was just like watch wrestling, dude. Those were good times, dude. I didn't give a fuck about anything. Those were
smoking cigarettes.
Just doing bad things and having fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking cigarettes, bro.
Dude. I remember I went to when I first started dating Sarah Loisel, I took myself to the hospital, and this was like 2006, because I didn't know what my anxiety and my depression were yet. I just knew that when I didn't drink, they would happen worse. So I remember this one day after, like we played this show at Smalls, and it was in like 2007. It was right before the Dressed Him Less stuff. And I remember being in a room in Nate's house, and my anxiety was so bad that I literally thought I was dying. And I begged her to come over because I thought I needed to go to the hospital. And what's crazy is I think I was sober, and I was just like, I think I barely had anything to drink that night, and I was like out of my fucking mind with anxiety. It was wild.
Yeah, you drove yourself to the hospital?
I've done that before.
What'd they say? You're just having a panic attack?
They just always were like, well, your heart's fine. But they never they just said, your heart's fine. That's it.
They didn't even say you have a panic attack?
No, I feel like this was like mid 2000s. I feel like anxiety the word being thrown around happens more lately than it did back then, because I wasn't told it was anxiety. I was just told that you're not going to die of a heart attack. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't really. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't really learn about anxiety being a thing until like 2007 it was 2006. 2006 they just started to put me on antidepressants. Like they didn't tell me you're anxious. They just said start taking this. And the lady didn't even explain to me what it was. He didn't say this is an antidepressant. This is an SSRI. This is what it will do to your brain. It just is like, we're going to just put you on some medicine is pretty much how she explained it.
Dude, I knew about anxiety in like 5th or 6th grade. They told me I had social anxiety. I was like, what's that? It's something that's invisible.
Did they say that?
Yeah, something in that line, like you can control it with medications and stuff, and the medications just made me even worse. And then so into high school, I used to just walk into high school for like a year and just go right to the bathroom and like throw up foam because I would have a panic attack. It was because there was nothing in my system, because I had such bad anxiety. All I do was smoking cigarettes because I was depressed on top of it. And so I would just go and it was like just throwing up spit or bile or something like that because I was having a panic attack at that point. And then I went to go see my therapist like around age 16 because I went through like 12 therapists growing up with family therapists, all bad, you know, and my older brother has some big issues. So I grew up just being like, fuck therapy, you know, fuck this. They're not helping me. All they do is prescribe me drugs that don't do anything. And I went to one finally, my mom recommended through her therapist, and he opened my eyes about the whole thing and taught me about triggers, what's making me feel that way, and how to cope with anxiety with and medication is just a tool. It's a tool to help you. It's not something that's supposed to be taken forever. I mean, some people have to, but in cases of my social anxiety, it's not something that I was to take my entire life. And that was a big step joining DTB for my social anxiety, is because I would have never been able to do that like a couple of years prior.
Oh wow.
Music was a big thing for me, but you know, like I never played in front of huge crowds. Like we opened for Guar a couple times, but I would have to be like shit faced drunk, you know, like blacked out almost just to get up there. And DTB, I got drunk, but I tried never to get that crazy drunk because I took it a little bit more serious, and it was just it was one of those hurdles. Well, it's like, oh, I could overcome this and just make this a thing, you know. That was a personal goal to overcome, is to be on stage as much as possible in that time. Because yeah, it helps me a lot. Just be like, it's just a thought in my head that I'm let overcome.
Well, good, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know you previous to fucking when I met you. Oh, I mean, we went to the same high school together, but we did not know each other.
Which video is that from?
Put in the boot.
Put in the boot.
It's one of my favorite things ever because we were having fun back then.
Oh yeah, man.
Like when Bobbins first joined in like 2011, he was super jazzed about everything. It was before we got burnt out. And
before he realized what it really was.
Well, he was like he grew up in musician. He grew up in Oscoda, dude. You know, he grew up in the fucking in a small ass town, and then, you know, moved to Lansing, but still, like, even Lansing compared to Detroit is a small town. And and then he's, you know, we started traveling all around, you know, so, you know, he was like, but in that video, in the Poot video, he's like, this is my first music video, and I'm glad it gets to be with you. UZTV, love it like you should. He's like, oh.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. And I totally forgot about that.
And it's just we're just definitely like having fun. We were having fun. And
oh, hell yeah.
And we didn't put any thought into, you know, our like aesthetic or what we look like. We just were like, didn't give a fuck about anything. It was
doing what you were just saying, what you want to do. We were doing exactly that, just doing it to do it and have fun. It wasn't no goal. I mean, sure, we wanted to make it our job, but at that point it was just like you said, like that entire album of Gravelton's Beach is an inside joke.
Yeah, all that fucking record is three guys playing for 2 years and not doing a whole lot of gigs.
Yeah.
Like seriously, that was 2 years of us just mostly jamming twice a week.
Uh-huh.
And we started doing more touring, like probably, you know, a year and a half into that 2 years, we started getting really busy. Like leading up into getting signed that summer, and then the album coming out in the fall. It all happened pretty quickly.
I'm glad we got to do that point out though.
But bro, the first year and a half, all we did is play. Remember, we didn't have a fucking van, so we didn't get that van until it took a minute. Like we didn't get it right away.
Yeah, and that was a really good time though. Honing it and building the bond musically.
Oh, you were kind of shy, like on the camera too. I remember the first video we did.
Oh yeah.
You were just like, hey, you like barely. You're like, hey, my name's Ryan. I got fingers. You said I got these fingers.
I still got them.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I was saying. Is when I joined DTB, I was overcoming social anxiety.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize it till now. You said
the proof is in the pudding, baby.
Well, and now you're like, got your OnlyFans and you're showing some skin on social media. Like, you come a long way, baby. I see
what if I just all of a sudden you started to hear a spaghetti noise and then just a big stream of squirt just goes all over my phone. Add tokens to make me squirm.
Okay, yeah.
Add them. Add tokens.
It'll be like this interactive video experience where the more money you pay, the more spaghetti Ron shoots from his crotch area.
I think we could do better than that.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. That noise.
Yeah.
I think we can do better than that.
Nothing better than a beautiful sound of spaghetti in a dark room.
Hey man, my throat's starting to hurt, and we've been talking for 2.5 hours. I need to stop.
Enjoy your night with your lady, and don't call her toots.
Oh, she knows I'm just joking.
You better be.
She was trying to be mad at me yesterday, and she ended up just like looking at me and smiling. And, like,
yeah.
And then she like yelled at me a little bit more, but then she like started laughing and smiling at me again. It was really confusing. I'm just like, are you mad at me, or do you think I'm cute, or like what's going on here?
You're just cute, baby.
Oh, I gotta send you this video. All these dudes. It's this skit that's going around the internet, but it's all these dudes being like, man, look at that house, it's cute. And then this other dude's like, yeah, dude, that house is really cute. And then they walk in and there's all this cute shit, like all of these little, like crafty, decorated stuff that normally a girl would think is cute, but it's all these dudes being like, dude, look at this, it's cute as hell. And they're just talking about how cute this house is. It's a really good sketch. I gotta send it to you because it goes for a long time. It's like 5 minutes.
Send me that cute sketch, baby.
It's about dudes who aren't afraid to call things cute and be called cute. So
I'll take that. I like that. Fuck male machismo.
have you ever seen the show Parks and Rec?
Yes.
You know that one janitor guy that like exposes himself, the kind of greasy like guy that is in like a couple of the seasons, where he like always says he's like a greasy kind of janitor type dude, and he always says something weird to Amy Poehler's character. He like, you would know this actor. He's in the cute sketch. You would know him when you saw him. You'd be like, oh, that guy was on Parks and Rec. But
send me the cute sketch, bro.
I gotta find it.
What you do is just type in cute sketch?
It's just all these dudes talking about things being cute, and then it just goes on this long tangent.
Is it about to become viral like the Tiger people?
What Tiger people?
Is it about to be viral like the Tiger people?
Yeah, that's still the number one thing everyone's talking about in America is the Tiger King.
Tiger people.
The Tiger Bebo. I gotta go, dude.
Enjoy your night. I love you, man. Stay safe and healthy.
I got stoned.
Oh, come on.
But hey, bro, I don't know what just happened, but I think this is the longest podcast I've done, and it was just us talking about I don't know what the fuck we just talked about.
That's what's happening, baby.
It's fun.
That's what podcast is nice.
Well, it's more like this is way more like hanging out than me trying to interview anyone because everyone knows Ron, so we're just like literally just talking about movies and bullshit.
That's what's up, man. I love to do it. I love talking to you, baby.
Yeah, I'll and send me that audio and let me know. And so what else? I mean, hey, real quick, tell people if they made it through all of this, plug some Drawn stuff. That you guys got the new video out, right?
Yeah, I got the new video at Drawn Things on YouTube. Click that subscribe button, subscriptions.
And how into the new album are you guys, would you say? How many songs?
Well, we got about 5 songs written. There's just no vocals, and they're just a couple are at the baby stages. We're shooting for 9 or 10 songs. The album's gonna be called Mental Health.
If you get that shit working on your computer, you might be able to like send audio stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what Don and I were talking.
Because if this thing lasts as long as it might, you guys should definitely get in the habit of starting to try to write music remotely. Because I think you can pull it off, especially with everything Don has. If you can find a way to record bass and guitar, like you literally can work on songs during this shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we'll be getting more into that. Right now he's just working from home, and
yeah,
I understand. I don't want to step on his dick too much because he's probably stressing out about stuff. And
yeah.
I'm not in no hurry. Like, we'll get to it eventually.
But the video is awesome. It's the best stuff I've heard from you guys. It's like really powerful.
Oh, thanks, man. We tried really hard with this one. Going in
I could tell
a different direction.
And on the first record, like you were dealing with a lot of anger, I think.
Oh yeah.
And now
definitely
the stuff that you guys are doing now is like so much more an exploration of kind of like, I feel like a message of hope as opposed to like just anger.
Yeah, that was.
But that's just the one song. That's just the one song though. That I don't know the other song.
It's gonna be on the same route, but just different levels of that.
Yeah.
Mental health, going through there's a song on there I wrote about Don hanging out with his son on a Saturday morning playing Doom, and it's really beautiful. And I played it for him and Katie, and he's like, we need to record that and put that on the song. So we're just doing like every emotion, kind of putting music to it. And just going on a bunch of different directions. And that's what Don said. He's like, we got to have no boundaries to this album and just do whatever comes out. And I said, yeah, there's no direction.
And he's getting so good at being an engineer and producing that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like really, even with the fact that he's released so much solo music, I really think that it's just going to lend itself to him being more of a, you know what I mean? Like he's definitely going to be bringing things to the table that aren't just like percussion related. He's like playing his own instruments and writing his own keyboard parts, and you know what I'm saying?
He's really talented.
Like when he first joined the band, he just was a drummer,
Yeah. Now he's learning things, and he's spent a lot of time learning it. I know just after this, he's just going to keep getting better and better just when he's at home learning things.
He sent me a bunch of Don Sizzler stuff, and he's like, yeah, would you give this a listen? I'm like, this is awesome.
It's really good. There's some really cool shit. There's some really emotional stuff in there too.
Yeah, and I love his like low voice when he does the kind of like rap kind of stuff. Where he does the voice like this, and
he's got a low voice, that Donnie boy.
But yeah, not his normal speaking voice, but he definitely, when he reaches back there, yeah.
Oh, I hear it all the time, man. In his speaking voice, when he gets really calm.
It is in his speaking voice too, yeah, for sure.
When he gets really calm, it comes out on the phone. And then when he gets excited, he's super loud. It wakes up the baby, Don Hedger. Is that the recording of Don? He's a loud individual.
That's what I'm saying. You don't hear the Danny. Well, the Danny. He's actually, his speaking voice is kind of like, kind of like around here. But then he goes, what?
He does that. That's true.
I don't know if he's true. I don't know if he's still making all the high pitched weird noises all the time. and all
Yes.
the beat boop bops like. Dip, 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 dip.
Oh, he's got this voice. He goes, hey, Katie. I can't even do it. Katie hates it, but oh my God, it's the most annoying fucking voice. And he does it so loud. And Katie's like, Daddy, fucking stop it. And he still does it.
Oh.
Should get video of him doing that for fucking
needs,
ASMR.
He needs his own TV show, man.
I saw this one ASMR real quick. I play Home Alone pranks on Big Head, so when he walks in the door or something, you know, just Home Alone pranks, you know. And
like heating up the doorknob so it burns him when he touches it.
No, but like hiding up on the stairs, like there's an island you can't see. Like when you walk up the door, there's the stairs, and then it turns a corner, and there's a little island. And so I would queued up this video of a bully ASMR, and I turned it up really loud. And when he walked in, it said, hey there, teacher's pet. You're looking pretty stupid today. and then it was just silence. Like he was like, what? And then I started it over and he started dying. He was like, what the fuck? Dude. And I ran down the stairs. I said, Home Alone pranks.
And you know, when I got bullied when I was younger in like middle school and shit, they wouldn't say like, hey, teacher's pet. They would call you, hey, faggot, is what they would call you.
Yeah,
like, and then they'd push you down and they'd stick your fucking face in the snow. And then, like, I remember I was carrying this drawing pad because in middle school I was obsessed with comic books and I wanted to be a comic book artist. So I just would always replicate these like comic book drawings. And I got pushed into the snow with my art pad, and it bent the whole art pad in half, and it ruined my drawing. And the fucking bullies, they picked it up and looked at it, and then they started apologizing to me because they thought it was like a really cool drawing, and they just felt so bad. But it literally went from that's
crazy.
It's weird. You could like try to pull off bully ASMR, but like it's not easy to replicate a bully. Like, I mean, that just sounds cheesy, you know, like, hey, teacher's pet. Like, that doesn't.
It was like some, like, I don't know, like twink type stuff.
Was it supposed to? Yeah, okay.
It was kind of like in that same, you know, like he was doing like the guy who came in and saved him. And
like a sex fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
But like a Twinkie fantasy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude, is if someone were bullying a gay person, they might bully them just how they bullied me when you know what I'm saying? They might say those things, you know? Like people when they're actual bullies, they'll say terrible things. Like,
oh God. That's what their job is, to say terrible things. I've been a bully myself in the past, you know, and I didn't know any better because I was being bullied.
Oh, I'm getting reprimanded for going too long.
Sorry. You tried to get off the phone with me, and I was like saying goodnight, and you just kept talking about bullying ASMR.
Well, yeah, I want to hear the ASMR, but yeah, and we're just talking about Don, and I'm yeah, I gotta put my toys away. It's past my bedtime.
Hang out with your partner, like I've been saying, damn you, Bob.
I'm gonna let you go.
Have a beautiful night. Love you, man.
I love you too.
Night.
We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Hit the button on your thing. I gotta find my thing. Bye.
Leave. Bye.
Bye.
Leave. Leave me.
All right, there you go. Bye-bye.